No, wait, stop. Cancel. It's just me right now. I pressed the wrong button. I keep doing this. There we go. Now we're all here. Go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Embers of the Wilds. How are we all doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, except I'm pressing the wrong buttons right now. But otherwise, I'm good.
Excellent.
I'm doing math.
Math.
Hell
Yeah, I just posted an image in the Discord, not on Twitch. RIP. Twitch can't see it. Twitch is left out. Oh no, it's over.
Oh.
Data.
Oh, yeah. This is nice charts.
I was bored.
No, it's good stuff. Great. Well, where did we leave off our last session? What was going on?
That is a good question.
There was a discovery that was made, wasn't there?
Yes.
In the cave.
Yeah, Henrietta came by, helped us investigate the cave. Didn't really figure anything out, but yep.
Yeah, got a little bit more info on, what was the town in the northwest? I forget its name. It's unlabeled on the map. Where Maven was.
Berg something, Shireberg, Valeberg? No, Brookvale?
Valebrook is the
Vailbrook.
east
No.
one that is
Ipsum?
between.
What town are we
the one in
talking
the
about?
northwest, Ipsum.
Right, Ipsum, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Laurel.
I guess we got a little bit more info on that and on. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
what's
just,
the name of the
doing
mage?
audio issues at the same time.
What was the name of the mage?
Maven.
Maven. Okay, that was
Yeah.
missing from my notes. Is Maven and the ruler was Sumaya.
Yes. With the dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yeah, which still throws me off every time I hear it. I'm like, it's like jarring. Like, right, they're dinosaurs.
T-Rexes, massive, big, chompy beasts. We're really just like friendly, cuddly, and misunderstood.
Yeah.
They're probably pretty nice.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't be shocked because we also have dragons, but for some reason, dinosaurs are more shocking to me than dragons.
I feel like that's rare in fantasy settings to have dragons. Or, sorry,
Dinosaurs?
dinosaurs, yeah.
Dragons are so rare.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
why
if
not?
if there's a place, there's got to be some stuff that came before.
Because, like, other extinct animals, like, aren't there, like, giant mammoths or whatever? Like, that seems like a common fantasy thing. Like, that wouldn't be weird. But dinosaurs, for
That's
some
true.
reason, feels very Earth-centric for some
Yeah.
reason.
They're a little bit too real to put into your fantasy games. You know, giant monsters are supposed to be a thing of fiction, not, historical fact.
You know what else is just completely fictional and just like completely out there? Swords.
Damn.
Swords?
It's a weird idea. It's gonna run at you with this 3 feet piece of metal
Swords?
and just push it into you. Crazy talk.
Okay.
Right. Well, our party has seen Henrietta. You've explored that deep chasm with the lake at the bottom that has some sort of water elemental or water spirit down in it. Henrietta has gone off to Northridge to look for that other golem that is uncontrollable at the moment, or at least you didn't know how to control it, but it's still there. And what would our party like to do on this very next day, which I believe is September 1st?
Yeah, the drawbridges were done yesterday then, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, they were.
Right. Okay, so I guess we do have the Kah-Ella thing. We were talking about going there for weapons or supplies for the canyon, right? So I think that was one of the things we were considering. We were also talking to the weird trader person that gave us directions to Ipsum. So I guess there's that. Yeah. Or if there's other stuff we want to do to investigate the mines or the elemental. I don't know.
That's right. I'm trying to remember where we landed on the elemental. I think it was to try and find. Yeah, I'm not sure what our approach was going to be to like square that with being able to mine in there, but also like not upsetting the elemental, or destroying it.
Someone had mentioned a relocation plan. But I don't remember
That
if that
was
was
me.
said in jest. Yeah. Is there a?
The
Right,
bucket.
I'd asked Henrietta about it, and she was suggesting, well, maybe like a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
We could try it.
Seems mildly cursed, but I'm not sure.
It seems very cursed. I've had bad experiences with trusting barrels to do things for me in campaign. Never goes.
I feel like if it didn't like it, it could just like slither out.
Yeah. Unless we like made it really appealing, but
What if
we know it like
it would want to move to the river? What if we can like? I don't know if
What
it
if it
understands
becomes,
us,
like-
but I don't know. Maybe that could be a thing. Maybe we can convince it that moving to the river is a cool thing to do. It's a bigger body of water, presumably.
I
right?
love that. I love that. And it becomes like our hometown elemental.
Well,
We just keep gathering myth-
but
Maybe we could convince it, or it just becomes part of that river, which is quite long.
oh yeah, because it went into the cave very far.
Well, inside the cave, it was a lake, correct? But we had also been talking about, so like it extends kind of within the cave. Like, is there an underground river?
Yeah, we don't
Something like that.
know what's at the back of the cave.
Yeah.
So it could have an escape route in the back, and it's choosing not to escape. So
Yeah.
We could, well, that's kind of like malicious. I was gonna say we could like close off where the lake enters the river zone to try and relocate it.
I mean,
Do you mean like trap it in the front where the lake is, or trap it in the back?
I was thinking trap it in the front if we wanted to move it. It might be sad if it gets trapped on like the not big lake part and be angry and maybe do bad
Yeah.
things.
I think I would want to know what's at the back of the cave first, because we don't even know
Yeah,
if
that's
it is
fair.
a river back there.
But it was spooky, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like very
Yes.
tight?
Yeah.
Not super tight, or what?
Or like, I thought it was a pretty tight tunnel that like,
No?
no?
What?
I thought you described the, like if you want to go further into the
I
cave.
thought it was like 30 meters across and like 50 meters tall.
Oh?
The lake was, yes, but then there was that narrow passage which was skinny going back,
Right.
right?
That's what I remember as well. That there was the lake was a big area, and then it went into a back section that had the mining wall, and
was
then it
maybe-
went into an even more slim tunnel-like thing where there's only water at the bottom and like, yeah, this shape and then water.
I
It's a slim-
am hallucinating here. Okay.
Yeah, so you
That-
got like the where's my finger? This is the
Right.
way down, and then you guys were on the lake side over here, and there's a big lake, and then way at the back of the end of the lake there's a
Right.
little passageway that extends deeper off.
That's how I pictured it.
And that's where we each found 1 gold as well.
Yes, there was gold. there.
Love to see it.
I apparently completely misunderstood that then. Rip.
But it is still possible to explore. It's just a matter of like how much we dare to explore, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was part of the question too. Maybe that like, do we tackle that now, or do we get like, do we do the equipment supply run
Mm-hmm.
and then potentially handle it? I wish there was a way to talk to it, and like maybe we could know what's going on. But
We can ask the Magmen. They speak elemental, so maybe they share some language.
when's level 5?
Oh, I think it's pretty far away.
Yeah,
right?
pretty far away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Handy dandy
yeah.
graph over here.
Dang. Tristelle just goes in the woods and grinds until she can understand languages or something.
Oh dear.
Slaughter draconians until you understand elementals. It's a very bizarre series of events.
Or just
Kill more things. Yes.
I don't know, like are there other ways to gain experience besides taking down baddies? Like I just making a ton of rolls for like acrobatics and getting stronger.
Life and death situations are usually the best way to improve your understanding of your own magical abilities, but there is experience granted for new discoveries, for important NPC interactions, fulfilling quest lines. All of that stuff also will grant XP.
Yeah. Which
So it
sounds
sounds like we should. Go ahead.
Sorry, what?
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that seems good. So it like everything doesn't just hinge on like, oh, we need combat encounters, otherwise we never progress.
Yeah. Cool.
So one thing that I still haven't decided on my last spell, and I don't know which one to pick. But someone had a very cursed idea for how to do this.
Oh no.
I can already tell by the look on your face that you don't like this idea. But someone suggested that my next surge is also going to be my next spell, whatever that surge is.
Ooh.
So if it's a negative effect, then I can use that on myself, I guess. But also if it's a positive thing, that could also work. But there are a lot of like game-breaking weird things in there, so I imagine it probably wouldn't work. But
I think chances are high that this would not work in your favor.
you think so?
Yeah.
I feel like there should be some of them that have some creative
Certainly.
uses that are
Oh yeah,
fascinating.
definitely.
Yeah.
But there's also just like spawn 6 snakes, and now you can just spawn 6 snakes at random.
Yeah, and then I can
Or-
give Tristelle snakes again, right?
Oh, you have the spell that just
That's
turns you
true.
180 degrees so you face the other direction.
Mhm.
You know, that not a terrible ability, but also not a great ability.
True.
I'm trying to think of like any scenario that would be useful.
If you cast it on an enemy, they need to make a con save or something, otherwise they're going to turn around. There we go.
Or do it as a
Yeah.
quick save if there's like a Gorgon type creature that could turn you to stone.
Oh, yeah.
Quick turnaround.
Wouldn't turning around be faster than casting a spell to turn around?
Maybe you're bound or something.
Okay. Yeah, there's an edge case where that might be useful. Let's do it.
Yeah, no, I'm not selling it really at all.
Yeah, someone's like got you in a chokehold or something, but you have a dagger that you can point only forward. Then you can cast it on yourself, and then you're going to turn around with the dagger immediately. And then like, bam. That's
And
a
you wouldn't
weird
rather
action
cast
scene.
like Firebolt in this situation.
Yeah. But it's cooler that way and very strange. So it has like novelty value that Firebolt wouldn't have.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should roll with this idea.
Wait, do you think we should do it? Like the next?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna be great.
I don't
Just pick
think
a spell,
that's in good
Freya.
faith.
But what if it's a positive one? Like some of them like restore a spell slot or whatever. That would be like insane if that happened.
What you could do is number each one of them and then roll for it.
Remember each one?
Yeah, and then it's random.
Like the
Well,
I mean,
we could introduce a spell that they had in 2nd edition called Oh, what was its name? There is a spell that just says create a wild surge. And then you just roll on the wild surge table. That way you don't get any specific one, but you do get just a wild surge effect. It's called
That's fun.
Nahal's Reckless Dwemer.
Oh god, that sounds scary though.
This spell is the Wild Mage's ultimate last resort. When cast, the mage releases a sudden flood of wild magical energy in hopes of seizing and shaping that energy into the desired spell effect. The attempt usually fails, but something almost always occurs in the process. So before casting the spell, the mage announces the spell effect that they're trying to create, because one of the entries on the Wild Surge table is you cast your spell correctly, or you cast it at double or triple effect, so forth, etc. After announcing the spell, the Wild Mage casts Nahal's Reckless Dwemer. A burst of magical energy is released, at which the Wild Mage tries to manipulate into the desired form. The actual effect is rolled randomly on the Wild Surge table.
That does sound neat.
Wait, I really like that. That could be fun.
It could also instantly kill me. But okay, so but what is the desired effect? Like, what is that?
So
what can I state that I want to do?
You would state that you are casting some other spell. Any other spell you have. Nahal's Reckless Dwemer is a first level spell, so you could say, I'm going to burn a first level spell slot to cast Nahal's Reckless Dwemer with the hopes of casting my third level spell slot spell, Fireball. And then we roll on the table, and maybe you get the Fireball, or maybe you don't. But you get to choose any other spell from your list, which can be any level from your list as well.
Maybe you get the fireball centered on yourself.
You know, that's the one that I keep like fearing every day, and every time I cast anything, it's like, please not the fireball centered on me, please not the fireball.
This is very low, but never zero.
I like it. Like, thematically, I think it's fun.
Yeah,
Especially given
100%.
that, like, my cantrip surges have, well, never triggered, except for during the flashback stuff. But, yeah. Okay.
I also think it's really thematic and cool. It feels like very much like some shenanigans with Pearl.
Yes. Okay. I'm guessing it doesn't exist for me to add.
I will manually add it to your character sheet, the old-fashioned way.
Sounds
Oh yeah, because you
good.
can just type it in, right?
Oh, sorry, I was flipping between tabs and making your life hard.
That is okay. Last paragraph that I hadn't read is because the energy release is planned by the mage, their level is added to the dice roll. If this result indicates success, the mage has shaped the magical energy, blah, 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 blah. Because the higher your spell goes off according to plan is on the higher numbers of the table, I believe. So, okay. There's the description. Casting time is 1 action, round is special, target is special. We have somatic and verbal components only.
I'm a little nervous. This is a good idea.
There we go.
Oh, jeez.
I think it will be interesting.
Perfect. Okay, let's give you your spell slot back and party. Splendid. So, are you decided that this is the spell that you will take?
Yeah, I think the spell has chosen me, so yes.
Excellent. Okay. Well, now, party. There's a new spell. Henrietta's come and gone. There's stuff down there, but you can't speak to it. You might want to grind out a level. Is this the time to go to Kah-Ella and find trade weapons and see what's up?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Any supplies that we need for the journey, or are we ready to set out?
pretty sure we need to restock on like rations and whatnot, right?
Yeah. Do we need to bring like a wagon or alpacas to carry stuff back?
Yeah, you're probably going to need something because you're bringing back a bunch of arrowheads, maybe some extra spearheads, actually maybe just a bunch of arrows altogether. What other supplies did you need from Kah-Ella? Let's make a quick shopping list.
I think it was primarily because we wanted to arm a lot of the citizens with some basic training and whatnot. So I think that's when we wanted a lot of arrows. What other supplies?
Arrows for sure. Spears was one for people who don't want to learn arrows.
Yes.
Like, you can use it when the bridges are raised or just like safer for a normal person to use.
Maybe some bows as well.
Mm-hmm.
Any other things that you might need for the town that you can't find here? I know there's always the side like, oh, I found some chocolate or I found some caramel or whatnot, but of the planned shopping list, things that your partner has approved of you to buy from the store. I don't know if that's a feeling you guys ever have, but I have approved shopping lists.
I do, and it's like I always leave with more. Like Target, I go for one thing and leave with like a new wreath.
Yep. Sweetie, we need coffee and milk. And I come back with pastries and donuts.
Yeah.
Sounds really good.
And like a magazine about like, I don't know, cryptids. Something. Just whatever. The truth is out there. I'm not sure that we need anything else. We just finished the building stuff. Or right? Or it's
Yeah, I mean there are things that are
yeah.
like kind of a long shot of like asking if someone knows the language of the elementals. But I imagine nobody will.
Yeah, that's a long shot, but it is definitely something. No, I feel like that's pretty much it.
Okay. Then I believe it's time for our adventuring party to borrow an alpaca to haul some stuff. No, a llama. To borrow a llama. The llamas are the big carrying ones. The alpacas are the fuzzy warm ones. Keep getting my Peruvian animals mixed up.
Do we have both?
Yes, there are both
Okay.
around.
Hang on. How many rations do we need?
How far is it?
Let's take a look at our big friendly map over here. And I think this is properly scaled. Yeah. So the expectation is that it's about 56 miles. 55, 60 miles from you. So traveling about 20 miles a day, it's about a 3-day journey. A little
Okay.
less.
Okay, that's reasonable.
And rations are 2 silver. 5 silver? 5.
Oh, I don't have any silver, I just have gold. Or wait, we have our like huge infinite stash.
Yeah. That's what I pull from buying stuff like this. I keep it like unchecked on my person.
Right, okay, I have 2,500, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Neat.
I blew most
Silver,
of
right?
mine on dresses.
Yeah, silver.
Yeah. Well, that was what was in the chest. It was all silver.
I just didn't know if I had used the wrong language that many times, that you had amassed 2,000 gold.
Oh, funny.
Can you type in math in Roll20? Like, can I do minus something, or...
Yeah, I think if you do /R10 minus 5, it should work. Yeah. As long as you do /R, then it does work as a math board.
Oh, but then it's like publicly. Oh, no.
3
If
days.
you do...
You have a calculator, Freya. You can use it.
That's true.
Bust out your TI.
Exactly.
It's Windows key calc.
Oh.
Okay, let's see.
Or Google also works.
How?
Yeah.
Wait, how much is one ration?
5 silver.
5 silver.
5.
Okay.
And it's 3 days journey.
Mm-hmm.
So there and back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get like 7.
Yeah, 7 seems good.
35.
Strips of dried weasel, some nice candied apples, some dried apple slices, some easy to transport and cook couscous.
Well,
A
I
little
need
bit of
meat,
this, a little
'cause
bit of
I'm a
that, some
carnivore,
nuts.
so I can't do couscous.
So lots of dried weasel strips for you.
For me, yeah.
Good old ferret rations. Everyone loves them.
Poor ferrets. Them's the breaks.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
It's not that easy to be vegan in a fantasy setting.
Especially when you're a cat.
Yeah. It's kind
Carnivore.
of
Yeah.
Well, that's not right. They're obligate carnivores.
Yeah. But you know, sometimes you still eat things just for like social reasons because you don't want to like look weird just not eating the rice, you know?
Well,
Okay, rationed
out
up.
Yep.
our party goes then. Unless there was something else.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah.
We've had our long rest now.
Yes.
Oh,
Great.
And off our party sets, leaving Trog Canyon behind and heading for the town of Kah-Ella, a supposed fortress town that sits on an island in the middle of a river, one of the other few surviving places after the war. And we can journey.
When are we
So
heading
you
out?
got the
1st September. Or...
1st of September, yes. You can head out with your llama behind you, and it should be a pretty straightforward journey. You just know to keep the mountain, Mount Carmine, on your right as you head southward, and just keep going until you hit the river or the swamp, and then, navigate your way from there.
I'm still gonna have
So-
my cloak above my head and be all mysterious.
Even when you're traveling in the big, broad, open plains with nothing but your friends for as far as the eye can see?
No, not when we're there, but in case we see other people and whatnot, or when we're approaching Kah-Ella. I don't know if it's a town full of racists. I need to be on the safe side.
Yeah. No, you should
It's
always
true.
protect yourself when visiting new areas in dangerous times. 100%. They might eat cat jerky over there.
Exactly. Yeah.
You could be worth a gold mine to them.
We're adventuring across the plains, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like grassy, like green grassy, or?
It is late summer and it has been hot and dry, so the grasses are brown and brittle, easily breaking apart. Winds are beginning to blow in as we approach autumn, so it's the sort of, the season of dying leaves and dying grasses out here.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna wear my red gown for this outing. That fits the vibe.
You should have like health bars for each of your dresses.
I really should, but I did mend my last one, the aqua one.
Uh-huh.
I kind of wish I'd gotten a yellow one that would like really fit, but here we are.
New town, there's
That's
new
true.
possibilities.
I'm running out of silver,
Ugh.
my personal silver, because I bought that pearl that was 100 GP.
So off we set, and we come to the first river, which is easily fordable. You found places to cross this. It's not even quite a river. It's a large, broad stream, and there's an easy fording place, so not a problem. And we continue into the plains. heading the furthest south any of you have ever traveled before. Once you cross this river, more or less, or once you get a little bit past where Northridge is. And on this first day, there's nothing in your way for the travels. You've got your llama with you. You've got the three of you hanging out together. There's food in the form of rations. There's water that you find in the rivers as you walk by. It's a nice, warm, dry summer day. Blue skies, just a few clouds dotting it. You make camp and set off the next day. And on the next day, you do see a traveler. There appears to be a wagon in the distance, making very slow, lumbering progress over the open plain. Without a proper road round here, the wagon just sort of like bumbles back and forth, bumping over all these little potholes and gopher holes and all the little problems of everything. It's making slow progress, much slower progress than y'all on foot. And it is headed, looking like away from Kah-Ella, like, exiting out this way. Whether it's going to Northridge or towards Strong Canyon or out towards the sea is a little bit hard to tell, since you're also heading in a direction it's not exactly sure where everything lines up, but it's generally headed north while you're generally headed south. You can spot this wagon from about a mile and a half, maybe 2 miles distant on the flat plain.
Mm.
Do you think we should say hi to them?
I don't see why not, I guess.
Are we suspicious?
I mean, if they came from Kah-Ella, maybe they know something about Kah-Ella. If there's,
That's true.
I don't know, if there's a war going on there, if there are draconians, or if it's peaceful.
Definitely.
Great. It will just be a short detour to run into this wagon on purpose, so you can do that. Pearl, is this the time where you put your hood up and hide beneath it?
No, I don't think so. Not when we're, like, outnumbering whoever we're meeting.
So not when you're outnumbering? So in this situation, it's fine.
What? Oh, I mean, when we as a team, when my friends outnumber the number of strangers, then I don't need to cover myself. Then I'm just gonna be
Gotcha.
just
That makes
normal.
sense.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Great. Well, it is a large cart with a covered wagon on top, with the white canvas pulled over a few arch beams, pulled by a team of oxen, and led or driven by, I should say, a single youngish looking man. He's got sort of a refined face, a little bit of like a not quite salt and pepper goatee, but like a grayish goatee that looks like maybe it's been dyed that color. His hair is black with a couple of streaks of white in it, and he's got sort of high cheekbones, slender frame looking to him. He drives the wagon with the oxen and wears a sparkly blue shirt studded with the occasional, maybe rhinestone's the right word, but little baubles that reflect the light on them. And as you all approach, the gentleman slows his oxen and gives you a wave.
I wave back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this type of clothing is like rare for us in Trog Canyon, right? Like, it looks way fancier than what we're used to, apart from Tristel, of course.
Apart from Tristel, this is not the sort of clothing you see. Everyone wears very practical stuff because life is hard, and there's no time to wear like fancy shirts that could just get ripped and torn and destroyed when you're hauling lumber or digging in the mines or chasing down children through a creek bed. So this is definitely a sign of luxury, of somebody who doesn't have to work with their hands or work particularly hard or has other people to do their labor for them, something like that.
Fancy.
The gentleman waves as you get within, 50 or 60 feet and calls out to you, "Ho there, travelers! Greetings! It's not every day you see people across the Great Plain."
Greetings. Well, what brings you here?
I'm in search of Northridge, the town. Have you seen it? Is it around here somewhere?
Oh yeah, it's just east of here. What? How come you're heading to Northridge?
I suppose there's no harm in telling you. Legend has it that Northridge is one of the great remaining cities of the world. That all sorts of wonders can be found. That the war never reached this far north, and that there's great trade to be had.
Take a sharp breath and I'm like, oh dear.
So, Northridge doesn't exactly exist anymore.
Excuse me?
Well, so the city itself exists. Nobody lives there, though. Not after the war.
Except for potentially ghosts.
That's true.
It's
There may
unfortunately
be
in
ghosts.
ruins right now.
Oh my. But I've come such a long way.
What are you looking to trade?
Oh, you know, this and that and the other thing. I've got a mind for business. I also have some old family that lives in Northridge. You know, my uncle's children. But I haven't seen them for, well, since I was a babe. I just know that they lived there, so off I am to Northridge to see family, to find trade, to see what this wonderful, beautiful world has to offer. But
You might
say
have
it's no
to go.
more?
You might have to go further than Northridge because Northridge is just has just a bunch of. It's a pile of rocks right now and seems to be haunted and generally not a good place to be at. It was very scary last time we were there. But there are cities still standing to the north. There's we've been to Fairport recently. Have you heard of Fairport?
He sort of nods his head in semi-understanding. Are you saying that Northridge is completely dead? That all the people there are perished and gone?
It's possible some of them may have escaped to nearby settlements or up to Fairport.
Are there bodies in the streets?
Oh no, this was long ago. This was during the war that it was destroyed.
So the corpses are all gone then?
Didn't we?
For the most
I think.
part, it
I
was
think we
like
didn't see any
bandits.
skeletons, yeah. Dead
We
bandits,
saw
maybe,
the
yeah. But
body of a bandit. The only trace of a living soul is the people who have come to sack and loot what was
Well,
remaining.
I've come too far to turn back now. Maybe I'll just go find the graveyard and pay my respects to my fallen family members if they're buried there. Do you know where the graveyard is with relation to Northridge? Is it in the town proper or outside of the town?
Wisdom check?
Yeah,
No
like
idea.
I mean, there's a potential that I might know because I vaguely recall that I did ask Lydia for a map or at least some vague like directions for where the church is. So like
Yeah.
I feel like it should be by the church and we have
Yeah.
talked about that. And I think when we talked last time the church was at the far end of town on the left side of the river is what I remember. But I'm not sure if that's correct.
Yep. No, those are all correct statements. You are remembering accurately.
Then I will elaborate on those directions to that person.
I'll give my standard warning about be careful at night. Seems to be some.
Yeah. You said haunted.
Yeah, very
You don't
distant
really
and-
mean haunted, like with ghosts.
I mean, we were knocked unconscious and we felt absolutely trash that morning after we heard some of the most terrible screams I've ever heard. And it only happened during night. During daytime, we didn't see anything. But nighttime seems to be very scary, so I would be very careful heading to Northridge during night.
This is most disappointing news.
If you don't mind me asking, when is it that you set out from where you're from? It's quite interesting to me that you say you had family there, but it's nobody's been there for quite some time.
Well, I've been on the road for 3 months now. Coming from way, way down south. With war has affected all the areas, of course, and I didn't know if it had reached this far. We'd heard wonderful things about Northridge, and so I've come this way. The people in Kah-Ella similarly told me that there wasn't anything up here of interest, but they didn't know specifically what was the happenstances. So I put their fear-mongering aside and came out hoping for the best. And now I fear the worst.
I see. Well, hopefully you'll be able to at least find some answers.
You don't... Well, none of you look old enough to have been around during the time of the war, but you don't happen to know how quickly these things transpired? If it was a long siege, there may be family in a graveyard to be found. If it happened all in one day, then I'm sure there's nothing there for me to find at all.
You know, as far as I know, I heard it was kind of a massacre. The whole town was surrounded, and yeah, it was a siege. I don't know how quickly it happened, and if they had any signs of warning or anything, but I would guess that, yeah, whoever heard about any attacks coming in, they would probably have escaped, and whoever was still in town probably wouldn't have made it out alive.
If you're not from Northridge, if it's destroyed as you say it is, then where are the three of you from?
Kind of look toward Kyra.
Yeah, further north. We're on a trading. Our village needs some supplies, so we're heading down to Kah-Ella to pick some stuff up. Much further north than Northridge.
He gives you a look that says, like, you did not answer my question, and I recognize that. Like the suspicious eyes.
Okay, so...
I'm originally from Fairport. You should really stop by there if you're in the area traveling. There's so many things there, and I can tell that you're an individual of taste. I have to say that your clothing is quite nice.
Handed down for the generations. Fine clothing, brought from the smallest of children's hands. That was a joke. Apparently not a very good one.
Oh, what a joke. You can find nice wares such as those in Fairport. You really should stop by. I love my
Is there a wagon route leading that far? I thought Fairport was beyond the reach of wheels, needing ships.
Ooh, it might be, actually.
That might be difficult, yeah.
As
There's
you
a
can
small
see,
town halfway through the mountain range there, where they might have boats, but I don't know if you would be comfortable leaving your wagon somewhere before you find a boat.
Life is an adventure. I'm sure I'll find the answers I need, and if not, I'll find a new route. Anyway, I don't mean to keep you. Oh, but do tell me, fair travelers, what are your names?
Oh,
I myself am Stuka.
Stuka.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I am
Please spell that.
Tristel. Pleasure.
Oh, I am Pearl Riverdale.
I'm
Pearl.
Kyra.
Kyra. Lovely. Lovely to meet you all. And then he takes a moment and, like, really regards Pearl, having not really paid any more attention to her than any of you others for a while. He, like, takes a nice, hard look.
I look back equally hard.
That's a most impressive skull you have, Pearl.
Excuse me, what?
Fangs? I'm a bit of a, how would you call it, a collector of wild animals. Not that you are a wild animal of any sort, but, you know, they die and we have skulls, and they're fascinating things. Yours seems to be very, you know, big, sharp fangs. Protruding jawline. It's rounded head. It's very fascinating.
That is just, yes, I'm sure that might be fascinating to you, but it's a little weird.
A most wonderful architecture, really.
I look over to Tristal.
Are there-
Like, is this a compliment?
Are there more
How
of
does
your
this-
kind around?
I don't know if there is. I mean, I'm very far away from my kind, it seems, but they exist.
What do your
as
people
far as I
call
know.
yourselves?
We're the Tabaxi.
Oh.
Some people call us cats, but you know, cats are the small things that run around on the ground. You know.
I can see the resemblance, but you are bipedal.
Exactly.
Yes.
I keep telling people that, but
Wow. I mean, how could they not see? Strong legs, I'm sure, though. Can you? No, I don't want to be rude. Well, fare thee well, travelers.
well, you
good
have a
luck.
most interesting skull shape as well. Very
Boy.
defined jawbone you got there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've always thought that the low jaw and the high cheekbones were an exquisite feature, worthy of any great statesman. If only I were to be a great statesman. But I have the jawbone for it. That's certainly true. Yes.
Yeah, I
quite
keep
enjoy
looking at
my
that every
family.
time I dig around in piles of skeletons and whatnot. It's fascinating to see all the different skull shapes you have.
Yes, I do quite agree with you, but I feel like you're mocking me at this point. I know
knew
my
you were.
interests are
We
a
need to
little
go to
bit odd,
Kah-Ella.
but yes. Well, right. See you later, travelers. Hopefully. Bye-bye. And he, whips the reins, and the oxen begin to pull, and he heads off in the direction of Northridge.
And I throw him with a look as we pass him.
What a character. I don't like how he looked at you like a specimen, Pearl.
It looked like he wanted to just have my skull. I would like to keep my
And
own
put it
skull.
on his mantle. Yes.
Yeah. What a weird individual. I try not to
Well,
be
at
too
least-
judgmental of people's interests, but that felt strange.
That
to
one
me.
was odd. That one was odd. At least we didn't divulge where we're from.
I do fear that they might run into Tron Canyon regardless.
Yeah, it's okay. We can just kill them.
Okay. Kind of nervously say.
Like, yeah, just like stare at Kyra.
I'm joking.
Yeah. Good one.
So peaceful, so peaceful. Someone takes an odd interest in Pearl's skull. Kyra's like, all right, let's bring some bones.
Honestly, I appreciate that.
Our
Did-
journey. Go ahead.
Did we notice anything weird with the caravan? There weren't skeletons hanging out of it, or I don't know
I
what.
casually just forgot to mention the skeletons walking behind. No, it's just a regular covered wagon that one might use when traveling across the open plain. There's probably room for a bed in there and traveling supplies. But now that you mention it, you never really did get a look inside the wagon. Could be anything in there.
Yeah,
Could be
it's fine.
skulls. Could be skulls of 100 Tabaxis lying in there.
He did relate to digging around in skeletons.
And wanted to go to a graveyard, So,
I feel like we have some hints here. Are we gonna address them?
So as the wagon, leaves and the dust trails kicking up from the oxen, and this conversation happens as you're walking further south, I get the impression the party, stops and looks back and considers this Stuka character and what they might be about. Is this gonna change your plans?
and does it look
What
like
do you
they're
all
heading for
think?
Northridge still, or?
Northridge, Trog Canyon, they're both in the same direction, roughly. The 6-degree arc of difference is easily going to be made up for by whatever happens to be the easiest path.
What was their name again?
Hey.
I forgot.
Stuka.
What? How do
Okay.
you spell it?
Stuka.
Ooh. Are we at all worried that that's in the direction of our town?
Nah, I think it's fine. I don't think he poses a threat to Chalk Canyon.
That's true. We have Greg.
Did not seem
Okay.
the warrior type.
Extremely suspicious person. I guess that's fine.
Well, as the day draws on, you see trees in the distance. And as you approach nightfall, you can see that you must have reached the edge of this swamp south of Trog Canyon. For you can see a great number of trees in the distance and not so much wet grounds, but that sort of all the things that come with like a wetlands. You know, there's the tall trees, the grass is here a little bit greener. You can see flocks of birds flying about and sort of like landing off in the distance. You must be somewhere along this zone. Not entirely exactly sure, but you know from here how you would get to Kah-Ella. So you can move in that direction. However, when you make camp that night, you see lights in the distance near the direction of trees. And when I say lights, I really just mean one light. It's sort of, you know, it's held right above ground level, maybe, you know, a few feet above ground level. It looks like a torch or maybe a lantern off in the trees, maybe a half mile from where you are.
Can we tell what direction it's
Someone out
moving?
there. It is generally moving west.
So away from us in that case.
Yeah, I suppose.
Tangential.
If you guys are
Is
headed,
it in the
y'all are
trees?
headed this way or that way. Yeah, it's within the tree line. Please take a gold.
I see. So we've like made camp and we notice this.
Yeah, it gets late. You make a little bit of camp somewhere where there's a good spot, maybe a little sheltered from the wind, but you still have a view of the tree line. When you notice this must be a person out there in the tree line.
And this was the same night as we met the totally not a necromancer person.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But they
Probably
went
not
the other
skeletons in the
direction.
back.
I guess we would
I guess like
mostly
yeah.
Cautiously observe it, make sure that it doesn't come for us, and kind of. I guess we could stay watch until we know that it's gone.
Did we put our fire out?
Oh, maybe. How cold is it?
Okay.
Can we camp without a fire?
You
Should be
won't
pretty warm.
freeze to death, but your food will be kind of crap, and fire does help keep the more natural beasts at bay.
Right.
Things
Right.
like large saber-toothed tigers are less likely to approach burning campfires.
I guess I'm wondering if we should just put it out and like watch this for a bit so it doesn't see us, whatever it is, and just like maybe observe it some more.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
It would be hard when Kyra's making watch because we can see in the dark, but just like check it out. Does it change like over time as we're watching it?
Yes, the lights move for a little ways, like parallel to the edge of the forest line before it sort of disappears. And it could just be that whoever's got the lantern like turns away from you, and so the light beam is just going off in one direction. You can't quite see anything, or maybe the light goes out entirely, but then it picks up again maybe 15 minutes later, a little further to the west still. So it's out there, and it's moving, but it's sort of not consistent. Like it vanishes and reappears.
How far away is it from us? Approximately.
Half mile?
Should we see what that is?
I think it's fine.
We could run up closer to it, kind of sneak around and see if we can tell what it is.
I'm worried about it's a magical creature that's luring us into the forest. I vote we just stay out here.
Okay. Yeah.
Do
Okay.
not go into the woods at night, for there are dark and spooky things there.
Exactly.
Or at least one bright spooky thing.
Okay. Well, the night will draw to a close. You keep your fire out so as to not alert the thing to you. We roll on the encounter table again. And it's another lovely, peaceful night with no monsters. Even without your campfire, no creatures come for you. And the next day rises. You follow along the edge of the swamp until you find this like narrow passage where the hills and the swamp are fairly close together. You can see the rise of the hills. You can see the edge of the swamp. And based on the map that you have, Kah-Ella should be right split between the two of them. And off you head. Halfway through your day,
anything like towers or?
Halfway through your day, you will see a large tower rising from the distance. First, it's just the peak of it, and as you get closer, the whole tower comes into view. And then, as you get very near to the town, you can see a wall springs into view. And sure enough, there is an island in the middle of a river. With large walls all the way around it, a bridge leading to your side, and most certainly a bridge leading to the other side of the river as well. This must be the fabled town of Kah-Ella. And as you make your approach, a voice will call out to you, but we will deal with that on the other side of our break.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Let's go and break. We'll be back in a bit. And see you on the other side.
Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Embers of the Wilds. As the party approaches Kah-Ella and gets near to the river, a voice calls out to you. I never did roll whose voice it was though. It is a, not quite an elderly woman, but an older woman who calls out, "Hello there! Hello!" And waves to you from a spot. Like there's a bit of a downhill slope as you get towards the river, and this older-ish woman seems to be perched on the slope, sort of leaning against it, looking in the direction of town, and tries to wave you over to her.
Yeah, I'll call back and head over.
You can approach, and the old woman will look at you warmly and smile and say, "Ah, strangers! We don't ever see anyone coming from this side of the river.
Yeah,
Who are you?"
We're trying to get some what are words? Some supplies for our small town to the north. So we have come to see what Kah-Ella has to offer, explore some sites, do some shopping. Yeah.
It must be a wondrous place to compare to wherever you're from. Tall, strong walls, many enemies at the gates, but not one has crossed into Kah-Ella. Not since the war ended. Not since life became what it is today.
Impressive, yeah. Sounds pretty
Yeah,
good.
that is so impressive.
But you're not citizens of Kah-Ella.
No,
me, dearie me.
Oh dear.
Well, as I said, not one enemy has crossed the gates. Not since they've been closed. And they do that by keeping all the people out. you'll have to find some sort of way to prove your loyalty or your fidelity or your lack of harm before
Well,
they
we
let
have
you in.
gold, and we want to trade. So we have gold.
Is there anything your city seeks in terms
I
of
can't
trade?
speak for the city. I'm retired. I just come out here to sit on the warm grasses and watch the clouds move in the sky. I'm not a good representative of the town. Just thought I'd say a friendly hello. Like to, give off the aura that we're a nice place.
Does the woman have anything with her?
She has a knapsack with her.
Okay.
We met one of your friends on the way here.
What?
Someone
My
with
friends?
a big wagon that were heading north.
They're not friends, though, right? What?
I think they were heading from Kah-Ella,
No. They were from
I-
like 3 months away.
or passing through Kah-Ella, right?
Yes, passing through.
Then they must
they
be
pass
friends.
No. My friends are all dead.
Oh,
Haven't had one in a while now.
I'm sorry to hear that. I just presumed that this traveler we met was a friend of yours. They passed through the town recently.
No,
No?
I come out here every day. No one's come through this side of the gates. No travelers, at least. Just me and a couple of the other gatherers, and the wild woman. And but that's it. No strangers have come through. No strangers have come from the north.
Oh,
We keep all the southerners at bay.
that's kind of strange, because
Did they actually say that they went through Kah-Ella or just passed it? Because I thought they said they just passed it.
yeah, maybe they just.
They said they spoke to people in Kah-Ella and that they also mentioned that Northridge wasn't a place
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That
Forgot
that
that.
could have been a lie, but
So you did not see someone with very fancy clothing and a big cart that was traveling through Kah-Ella?
My memory's not what it used to be, but not recently. There's someone that matches that description that came through here. Fancy blue coat, shirt with shiny bits on it.
Yes.
That was months ago now.
Huh.
interesting.
Well, we just met them on the way here yesterday.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I think this person's
Well-
just losing their memory. It's fine.
I should get back to my cloud gazing. That one.
Yes.
Like an
Yeah.
alligator.
Good cloud.
says. And when she mentions alligator, you'll notice that she is wearing like alligator skin pants and alligator skin boots.
Hmm.
Huh.
Can we see the
Presumably-
cloud that looks like an alligator? Does it really?
You can. It does not really look like. I mean, it's long and it does like sort of have a part that breaks, but calling it an alligator is a stretch. Could be a snake, could be just a cloud. People who gaze at clouds.
I kind of want to look at it and be like, wow. That's uncanny, isn't it?
Glad you see it too.
Do you like alligators?
She gives a half-hearted shrug. Oh, terrible creatures, wretches, really. Very dangerous, but they do keep us safe. The river here, filled with them. The swamp down south, filled with even more of them. And she taps her alligator pants. Great source of leather, though, for clothing. Hard to find lots of good clothing types out in Kah-Ella. Not a lot of farmland. Mostly hunting, fishing, skinning the beasts of the sea, the beasts of the river.
Have you ever been
see.
up to Fairport?
No. My My auntie visited Fairport once, 60 years ago or so. Well, maybe not 60 years ago. It all blends together. Let's see. I would have been about 12 years old, so 50 minus 12 is 36 years ago. That's what it is. And she went up to Fairport to see a man about a bag of pearls, if I recall correct. And she just launches into this story about her family and how, like, her uncle used to try and get into the gem industry and was making progress into it. And it's just like, clouds move, the sun moves, time passes. I don't know how long you want to let this woman ramble for, but
I presume
she's easily got an hour in her.
We
Let's
get the
get
sense
into
that
it.
she's not the town guard, right?
Yeah.
At this point.
Very much so.
Yeah.
We should hope not.
Yeah, well, I think I want to excuse ourselves and try and get to the town.
Yeah, it is an easy thing to excuse yourself from it. She's quite happy to go back to her cloud gazing, and a few minutes later you will find yourself at the bridge. This is a stone bridge. You can see that most of the stonework here is quite old, but the middle arch span seems to be brand new stone, or at least stone made in the last 20 years, probably after the war, that has repaired it. Standing on your side of the bridge are no guards, but like a little building that could be a guard post. And then the bridge runs all the way across the river towards the island, where there is a nice big wall with a single gate in it, wide enough for a single wagon to pass through at any given time. So the whole bridge is maybe 8 feet wide. It's got a little bit of a stone railing on either side, so you can't easily fall off. And it rises over the river maybe 15 feet total. It was like the highest point of the archway, and then the road's another couple feet tall, so let's call it 18 feet above the water. Standing on the far side of the bridge, on the top of the wall, looking out towards you, is a singular guard who is very surprised to see people coming this way. And they've got the hands on their hips and their head cocked to the side, like, what the hell is this? But they do their duty. And as you approach, the guard calls down to you. Hello there, travelers, visitors. We don't often get people from this direction. What is your business in Kah-Ella?
Yeah, so we come from a small town in the north. As you know, these times are pretty dangerous, and so we've come to procure supplies that we cannot make ourselves. So, looking to do some trading, looking to do some buying. Yeah.
Please wait. And down comes the guard. The door opens and shuts behind the guard as they trot out to you. They take a look at each of you, square in the face. Even with your hood up, they're gonna see your face here, Pearl.
That's
Okay.
fine. I can't really do anything about that, I guess, except suspiciously turning around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
180
they seem taken aback by you a little bit, but they try not to show it too much. And they look to your sides, and they see Khyperia loaded with weapons and armor. And they see bows on the backs of the rest of you. It says, so anyone coming into Kah-Ella must disarm and disarmor themselves, including arcane focuses, spell components. We can't have any non-citizens in here with weapons or access to magic.
Understandable. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable.
We're gonna get them back once we leave, right?
I think
As long
Khyperia
as
puts
you
out a
leave
shuffle.
this way, yes.
Okay.
You're not planning on traveling through, are you?
No.
No.
We're just here to get supplies, and we'll come back the way we came.
Excellent. There's also the bridge fee, 5 silver a head, and he counts out 1, 2, 3, and then counts the llama. 4 heads, 5 silver, 20 silver, please. And he holds out a hand.
Yeah, I'll pay 2 gold.
Fair enough.
Excellent. The guard will head back to the gates, give it a rap, and the gates will open, and the guard will motion in and says, welcome to Kah-Ella, one of the last freestanding cities in all of the old Farron Empire.
Thank you so much.
Inward, you can walk to a crowded city with tall apartment buildings all squished closely together. The light from the late summer sun casts long shadows all throughout the city streets. You'll see that there are people all about, but there's a lot of what appears to be sort of sick people sort of sitting in the streets in the shade somewhere. Most of the folks in town aren't really talking to each other, more like hurriedly going from one place to another. You can see worry and suspicion in people's eyes as they guard their money pouches when standing at a merchant's stall. You can also see the merchant stalls have like armed guards nearby, keeping an eye out for one another. There is an immediate sense of danger and foreboding here. More than like outright violence is just the sort of oppressive atmosphere of a place where there's not a lot of trust between one another and where there is some sort of sickness running through the town. The gates to town slam shut behind you.
That's ominous. Oh no.
Yeah.
People here don't seem to be doing very well.
I say
No,
we
they
do our
don't.
business and get out of here.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
do they
I don't want to live here.
do they even have the resources to
One way to find out.
I suppose. Yeah.
There's no shortage of guards. Surely they must have an armory.
Yeah. All right. I suppose let's do some trading. So, what is it? Are we on like sort of a town square or something? Or so I'm guessing we want to find.
There's a walkway that goes up and down the length of the island, or at least it looks like it goes that way, following the wall. And then there's a road that juts just into town and takes a couple of quick turns, so you can't see more than a few hundred feet in front of you.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think going into town makes sense. It's probably town square. Important armory buildings are near the center.
While we're at this place, I think I'm gonna be careful to keep my hands in my pockets and make sure nobody tries to steal anything, and and kind of like try to match the vibe of the town, I guess. Because if people are wary of having their stuff stolen, I also want to be that. So.
Yeah.
They've taken all of your weapons and armor and arcane focuses and spell components and stored them in a building near the gate, so you don't have those with you. But town should be safe, right? Should be safe.
I have
Should
my
be safe.
fists.
I have my
Doubt.
I can punch.
I have my cartwheels.
I can roll the dice of fate at any time, and we'll see what happens. I suppose.
Yeah. We will walk through the city streets looking for an armory or a smithy of some kind. Can I get Tristel to make me a perception check? Please talk amongst yourselves about how your characters feel about this town while I review some rules.
I'm on sketch. I think I'm ready to do some punching.
I mean,
I think I'm not worried about getting into a kerfuffle and kicked out of town.
I'm not either.
I
I'm a
would-
little bit worried for everyone who lives here.
yeah.
They say nobody gets in, but can anybody get out?
Yeah, it almost seems like there's.
I mean, old lady is getting out every day, so.
That's true.
Although, how much can we trust that old lady?
I think a fair amount. She really didn't seem.
No, not out of malice, but just out of sheer confusion.
I mean, I
suppose.
think if, like,
Oh yeah, fair.
she wasn't. Yeah, never mind.
But yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, do we get the impression that it's a town full of criminals looking to just like, I don't know, scam each other? Or is it more like things are just shit. People are sick and people are poor, and there's like almost no thriving anywhere. I guess there's a lot of overlap between those two, but
There is, and those are the great questions to be asking. It might take you some time of living here, or at least visiting repeatedly, to get a clear answer to that. But you're getting those feelings. You're getting like everyone's guarding their stuff. Everyone's being really careful around each other. So there's a certain amount of distrust in the air. And that could mean thieves. It could just mean hard times. It could mean, I don't know. What could it mean?
do we
It's heavily
notice-
populated.
What?
Or it's heavily populated, right? Like apartments. It kind of giving me like city vibes, like very vertical.
Yeah, very vertical. The island can't be that large, but there must be a few thousand people living here, and so they're all just stacked on top of each other.
It's like
It
Manhattan.
would be like, very much like a mini version of Manhattan.
What are the guards, or if I can tell who the town guard is, like, what are their
They're
relationship
very
with each other?
Clearly marked.
Okay.
You will see groups of 2 town guards walking around. They wear leather armors, which look like, layers of alligator or crocodile skin stacked on top of each other and bound together with string or twine of some kind. They carry wooden spears with metal spear tips, but you'll notice very quickly that some of them are steel tips, some of them are bronze tips, some of them are like copper tips, although there's not very many copper, but you'll see like a mix of metals. Can I get a insight check from Kyra, please? You will quickly notice, Kyra, that for a major city, there's not a lot of metal equipment.
Okay.
The spear tips was the first giveaway to it, and then you started noticing other things, and it looks like everything here is made out of like resources that you can find on a river or on an island or just off the banks. You get the distinct impression that like metals have been recycled over and over again. Signposts hang from like ropes and cords, but it's clear that there used to be like metal brackets and like chains that connected the signpost to the beam that would come out from a building. As you look around, you'll notice that a lot of areas where in Trog Canyon you would use metal to fasten things, ropes have been improvised, or like wood has been improvised and clearly been broken and repaired and broken and repaired.
And so it seems like even the guards are also do the guards also seem kind of sick and depressed, or are the guards like sort of thriving while the rest of the population is suffering? So I imagine if we see like several like town guard walking together and they're relatively happy and chummy and talking to each other or whatever, or are they also like sort of in a similar mood?
They're definitely not happy and chummy, but the guards you do see seem to be well fed. They don't seem to be sickly at all. They patrol the cities in pairs and are very vigilant and alert. They'll walk side by side, but one will be glancing over their shoulder from time to time. And if they stop to investigate something, they'll stop and like whisper among themselves before approaching a person on the streets and beginning to speak to them. They seem cautious.
Can we tell from the population, like they're sickly? Can we tell what they're sick with? Like what kind of sickness?
Seems to be some sort of like, wheezing, hacking cough. That their lungs sound like a little bit wet as they wheeze in the streets. Yep. So back to Autumn and your perception check. Let me take a quick
Oh yeah, I made that.
character sheet. Eventually you will come to an alleyway where you can hear the pounding away of a hammer on an anvil, and you can follow the alleyway back to a smithy. And when you get to the smithy and you see what is available here, the sorts of tools and weapons and supplies, that your hand goes to your pockets to see what you can afford. And Tristel will find that she has been pickpocketed somewhere on the way here in the streets. You have, let's see, let me add up all your coins. 108 plus 137 plus 19. You have 264 coins. A bag will hold about 50 coins. So you've got, let's say, maybe 5 bags of wealth on you. Probably most of them around your waist, maybe one of them in your backpack. One of these bags has been swiped from you at some point without you realizing it. So I think it's about a 50-50 chance whether it's a copper bag or a silver bag. So why don't you roll me a d2? On a 1, it is silver. On a 2, it is copper that has been stolen from you.
Flipping a coin.
All right. Lucky you, it is copper. So please remove 50 copper pieces from your character sheet. At no point did you see who did this, and it's not until you reach the smithy that it is apparent.
I presume none of us noticed it.
No one noticed it. No idea when this could have happened.
So I notice it. I want to let the party know. Oh god, I think my money's been taken. It's only copper, but we should maybe store them closer. Hidden.
Goodness, have we been here for how long and this already happened?
20 minutes, maybe?
Oh my god.
Okay.
But you find the smithy. Out front of the smithy are 4 soldiers. They're wearing that same sort of like alligator, crocodile skin vest around them. They've got greaves and bracers made out of wood, banded with little bits of leather. And each of them carries an axe, a nasty-looking battle axe, 2-headed, in their hands. They watch you approach. They keep their weapons out, but they don't interfere with you. They don't stop to ask you any questions. They don't get in your way, but they just stand near the smithy, guarding it. The alleyway is such that there's buildings on either side right up to the smithy shop. The alleyway is maybe 8 feet wide, so the guards are like on either side of you, uncomfortably close maybe, and there's just like the one approach, and you can see the smithy is here with the little workshop, and then the house is behind it, and it doesn't look like there's any way. Maybe if you go through the smithy and through the house, there might be another road exiting out the backside, or it could just be another tall building. The smithy is multi-story, just the ground areas where the actual work is being done. And as you approach, the smith will set their hammer down, and she will look up at the 3 of you with a bright smile and give you a wave. Hello! Fine people of Kah-Ella, how can I serve you today? What goods do you need repaired? Or made?
So we're actually not from the area. We were hoping to purchase some wares.
Well. Yes. What can I get for you today?
We were looking for arrows and arrowheads
And bows
specifically.
and spears.
Potentially, if you have any bows around here.
Yes, and yes. I don't make bows myself, but I know someone who does. They also make arrow shafts, which I can buy en masse and affix to the arrowheads that I make myself here. Is there a preference of type? Steel, brass, bronze, bone?
I guess I don't know enough about arrows to know.
I don't know.
Khyperia would know that
Yeah.
steel arrowheads are very easy to retrieve. What she's talking about mostly isn't like the damage it's going to do. She's really referring to like the recyclability of these things. Even a steel arrowhead that like if the arrow shaft breaks, you can pull it out and take off the head and affix it to a new shaft and it'll work fine. The bronze ones are more likely to be damaged and need either repair or to be completely refabricated. And the bone ones, once broken, are completely worthless and you have to throw away. So basically, bone arrows can't be recovered. Brass arrows have a lower recovery chance, and steel ones have the regular recovery chance without having to worry about melting down. So this is, a more statement of the economics of the area than the effective abilities in battle.
I think we would be looking for steel arrows if you have the possibility
You've
to make
got
them.
the coin, I've got the metal.
What is the coin for those arrows exactly?
I feel like this whole trip is gonna end up not working out.
You know, we'll see.
Yeah.
We're just here for some
Fairport.
weapons.
In Fairport, it was 1 gold for 20 arrows. The woman before you now will tell you that for steel arrowheads, it will be 5 gold for 20. And then she'll throw in the shafts and attach them for free. So she's really charging you just for the arrowheads and not for the shaft, which over in Fairport, it might be the other way around almost. There seems to be a serious shortage of metal here.
How many do we need?
Probably a lot.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is really expensive.
But we
You
have
all
like the
must
town
be-
coffers
We do have the town coffers, but I don't know.
with like thousands and thousands of silver.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we could also go to Fairport to get arrows if we.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so the point of going here would be for us to not have to make it ourselves.
Yeah.
And if they're not already pre-made, then why are we going here? Because it would take just the same amount of time to make them here versus make them in Chalk Canyon.
Oh, it's the availability of them, and this is us commissioning them?
You can see stacks of arrows behind the smith. So they have them on hand. It's just going
Okay.
to be sort of expensive. There's
Okay.
definitely going to be, there's a much, much larger population here. Trog Canyon's maybe like 500 people. This is clearly 7, 8, 10,000 maybe. So they're going to have more smithies and higher availability, but the prices are much, much higher.
Well, we do have. We could buy them, I suppose.
Yeah, we have the money.
Yeah.
Do you have any old metals to trade in? I can give you a discount if you can trade away some old metal. Doesn't matter what shape it's in. I can melt it down, even if it's mixed, brass and bronze and steel all together.
Unfortunately, we had no idea the predicament that Kah-Ella was in. We do have some in our town, but that is weeks away.
Well,
I mean, we could also, of course, pay in silver. But I don't know if silver is a valuable metal for you to use in your smithing.
we still trade wealth in silver. Absolutely.
Hmm.
If you don't mind my asking, where are you from?
From up
You
north.
seem surprised.
Oh, yeah, I guess it seems like people are feeling pretty sick in the streets here, just while we were walking through. Seems like people are not feeling very well. And I guess that has us a little concerned.
Is there no sickness where you come from?
Not to this degree, although I guess we are from a much, much, much smaller place.
Tell me where this paradise is.
Oh, it's just a little
Where the
village
metal is in
to
ready
the north.
supply and people are healthy? Come now.
Oh, it's nothing like the scope of this place. I mean, we don't even have walls. It's just a little camp up there.
Have you heard of the town of Fairport?
The smithy shrugs. I think I've heard of it. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
It's a small town northwest of Fairport.
Huh.
Not really marked on any maps or whatever, so.
Used to be a lot of small towns like that around.
Indeed.
Yeah, so
Well-
how is everyone doing here in town? Are any wars troubling you, or?
She looks down the alley behind you, and looks at the guards for a moment, and then judge the situation to be safe. This isn't some elaborate ruse to steal from her to like get her to talk. You guys seem on the up and up, right?
Yeah. We also found a gold.
Yeah.
In this very poor city.
Life is good. There may be some illness here and there, and a little bit of crime, but it's better than living, she gestures, out to the southwest. The open plain, warlords running rampant, towns being sacked. Ugh. At least it's safe here.
Goodness.
Who is sacking? Who is doing this in the southwest? We've never been
We're
there.
far from the north. We have not heard of any of this.
Across the rivers, near Pheromonium, things are a little more violent, a little more dangerous. Various warlords, rampaging horse lords.
Dang.
There's nothing but city-states out there. All the free villages have more or less been ground under heel.
Terrifying.
Have you made it out okay throughout all this? Have you been safe?
I mean, look at me. I've got a fantastic shop in a great alleyway, 4 strong guards to keep us at bay, and I'm in a fantastic business. Smithing. Not a lot of good resources around. My skills are in high demand. As you can see, I can afford 4 excellent bodyguards. I would say I'm doing quite well.
Yeah. Seems like it. It's a very nice shop you have here.
Thank you. Would you like to buy something from my very nice shop? I can point you in the direction of a good bower.
Yeah, I think... How many arrows? Oh, geez.
5 gold for how many?
20.
20. Ooh.
So that would be...
Like 200.
I think 200 would be pretty reasonable.
So 50 gold.
So if you have 20 archers, they each get 10 shots.
Yeah, and it is
that's pretty
like
good.
I guess we would need some for practice as well, but it would be kind of mostly an emergency thing. Like it's not like everybody's going to use the arrows all the time every day. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
So I think it's okay.
And when expended, some of the arrows can be just picked up and reused again, and those that are broken, as we mentioned earlier, you just usually need to repair the shaft on if you're getting iron arrowheads or steel arrowheads. So, that's 200 that can be used in one battle, essentially, and it should be reusable over time for practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To 500 silver.
She will gather up the 200 arrows and bundle them together with a couple of pieces of twine and string and hand the lot over to you.
Do we have
if you
our
hand over the money?
llama, alpaca, hybrid? I
Your
forget
llama
which one.
your llama is traveling with you here in the alleyway. Someone must be holding the reins, but
Yeah.
Do we, who should pay for that? I forget. Or I guess,
I think we were gonna pull it from the town's money.
yes. Yeah. I forget where we had the town money. Or is that the...
I guess I could pull it from mine, like, or any of our personal silver, and then kind of like reimburse it
Yeah.
when we get home. I'll pull the 500 from my like silver
Sure.
stash that I have in my person, so then I have 100, and I'll put it back when we get back.
And I think it's also good to also just buy something so that we leave with something. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
feel like coming into this suspicious town and leaving without doing the one thing we said we came here to do.
And we
would
also
be-
want to buy bows,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Bows and spears or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah. The smithy will tell you or give you directions to their friend who is a bower. And they will wave you off and wish you best luck on your adventures and your journeys.
Oh,
as you
before
move
we
through the...
go, did one of us actually had some items stolen from us on the way here. Do you know if there are any streets we should avoid, or if there are any safer places to get to the bower?
No.
Oh.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
Okay.
Keep your wits about you.
Yeah, we'll try. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Ta-ta. And you can move through the streets, following the directions. You'll come into the main town area where there's like a large open square and a single medium-sized temple. You would really expect a town of this magnitude to have a larger temple, but there's a medium-ish temple here in town that seems to be fairly run down. The roof is clearly collapsed in one area, but not the whole roof, just like a section of it has broken down. The walls are stained with water, with the dripping of water from ages. Out front is a cleric or a priest or a priestess or something who is sweeping the steps of the top of the temple, and then like gazing out to the little courtyard where some people have gathered, having like a lunch, and there's some tables and chairs, and there's some restaurants out here. And there's some people sort of enjoying the late afternoon. There doesn't seem to be as many like sick people sitting around in the middle of the town square. People are a little bit more open and chatty here. You'll have to pass through the town square and head up the road alongside the temple to make it to the Bower's place, which doubles as an inn. It is run by, it is an inn who the innkeeper and their family also double as a Fletcher. You can see in the main common room of the mostly abandoned inn at this point is a family. There's two men sitting in the middle of the room, carving some bows and some arrows, and what looks to be a little flock of 6 children picking up the little bits of wood, bringing other bits of wood, measuring things, weighing things, straightening things, doing all the small little jobs. The youngest of the children just sits in a basket watching, and as the 3 of you approach the front door, one of the men will pop up and hurry over to you and say, welcome. Are you here for our arrows, our bows, or our beds?
Your bows. Yeah, we just came from the smith, whose name I totally asked and saw on a sign somewhere. We came from your friend.
The smith who, yes, of course.
Got some arrows from them. Looking to get some bows to match.
Splendid. Long bows or short bows? We have both.
Out of character, short bows are easier to use, and
yes, they're simple ranged weapons.
Okay, then short bows.
Great. 25 pieces of gold per bow. We have 6 on hand right now, and then we can make more. We can make quite a bit more if you have a higher need for them.
Unfortunately, we're traveling through and don't have that much time.
Well, you can always place an order and come back in a few days or weeks. Don't mind making things in advance and holding them for you.
How much gold?
In fact, if you buy 10 bows, we'll throw in 2 for free.
That's very kind of you. We'll have to think about this for a while.
How about we go over to a corner to talk about this?
Yes.
Of course, please take your time. There's a little cafe down the way.
Okay.
We got 200 arrows. What was the intention for how many bows? 10, 20.
That's a lot of gold. Are bows usually that expensive?
That is the regular price. If you were to buy them in any other town, 25 gold for a short bow is pretty common. But they're offering you 2 free ones if you buy 10. That's great.
Okay, but that's reasonable then. If it's...
Yeah. Let's see if we can bargain 15 and get 5 extra.
So, do we actually have this much money on person? Because that's a shitload of gold.
Maybe combined.
Um, so we do have a very extreme bargaining chip that grants us pseudo powers in this town. Is that we could bring some ore from Trog Canyon, and that will sell for beef.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, we could, like, even if it might be expensive for us now, we could make money as well.
Yeah.
Although I guess it is a little bit of a spooky place. I'm not sure, like, if we keep coming here to sell our ore, I don't know if it's gonna, like, I don't know, raise any eyebrows and people are gonna be suspicious of us because we keep bringing in these valuable metals and whatnot.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just happy that we do and don't really ask any questions.
I think we would devise a plan to smuggle in the iron.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm not so certain about the rulers here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we don't
Yeah,
know.
I think like my plan would be something like bring up the iron outside of town, then like send one person in to negotiate with someone, have them come out of the town, pick up the iron, so only this person knows that it's us, and that transaction happens away from any prying eyes and etc. And like we make it clear with this person that we are not going to tell them where we got this iron from.
Do citizens pay the bridge fee? Because if they don't, then that's a very good reason for us not to enter.
I don't think so. I think that the guard said for non-residents.
Yeah. So yeah, later on, if we ever bring some iron, we can do that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think our Smith friend is probably the most likely candidate to maybe have looser morals about this whole arrangement.
Yeah, I don't think we want to tell anyone this visit. We're not prepared for that, I think.
Probably
Okay.
not, no.
So let's see. 25 gold per. Oh my god, I don't even know if we have that much on us.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I mean, I have
Like, we
26
need-
gold, so that's...
Yeah, I have
I
45.
have 20,
Mhm.
and then is it 10 gold? Sorry, 10 silver to gold.
Yes.
So 13, the equivalent of 13 gold in silver.
But I mean, like, I feel like we should have brought, like, some of the
Town money.
money,
Yeah.
right? So that should be on the llama somewhere.
Yeah, it's a little awkward that like we have unspecified amounts of town money on the llama that could get stolen, but I don't know.
Yeah, we probably should have talked about that.
Yeah.
I think it just slipped all of our minds.
Yeah.
So you would have brought town money to do the purchasing of these supplies.
And we would have probably based that off of whatever prices we've seen before. For...
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
I
bows,
think-
I know we've seen the price of.
So let's see, the town income every year. So maybe you would have been given 2% of the yearly income of the town for this mission as just a, like, sort of a wild ballpark. Because most of the town income has to go to other town activities.
Yeah.
So this times 0.02. Ooh, that's still a lot of money. That's 340 gold. So I think you have 340 gold on you in addition to whatever you have of your own wealth.
But then there was also, we found the big, like, treasure chest of silver, right? And we gave...
It's like 90% of that to the town.
Yeah, we gave a big part of that to town, right? But I'm not sure if that just got absorbed into the system. Or,
Yeah, it probably just got absorbed, I feel like.
or if we have access
Yeah.
to that. I don't know.
I think much of that went to paying the raising of the bridges.
That was like the primary reason we wanted that money.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So how much do we have on a person? Persons? 340.
From the town
340.
coffers?
Yeah. So
We just spent 200 of that on arrows.
250. So 90 left. I
Wait,
guess let's just say
250?
that we buy
Or-
10.
wait.
Or wait, didn't you buy that with your own money? Like the arrows?
No, no. So that was before the arrows. I took that out of my money. I'm saying for these bows, we should take it from the 340
Right. Okay.
and
so
just
how
get
many-
10 for now. We can come back and get more. We don't really have enough to buy more than that, so we should get 10 so that we can get the 2 for free.
Yeah.
Wait, did they have? I thought they said they
They-
only had 5 available.
They have six
Six
short
available.
bows available right now, but if you come back in a little while, they'll have more made for you. It could be an easy thing to place an order, and they'll probably throw in the others, and you can just come back and get them another time. Or you could wait around for a couple days, a couple weeks while they finish up the next few.
Do you not want to
Takes a
stick
little
around
while
this
to get
place?
this bow.
Yeah, this place is sketch. I don't think we would want to spend more time than we need to here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm interested in staying just to see what's going on. But I don't know if it's the smart thing to do. So 6 then? We'll just take what they have, I think, maybe come back
Yeah.
with... Okay, so
With
then...
a bucket of ore and an order for bows.
Yeah, I guess that's something we can do. We could
150.
just order them for the future, and then we can. Although, assuming they're okay with us paying later, but.
I guess we can ask.
Mhm.
So if we got the 6, then we'd have 190 gold left. Which sounds good.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or wait, 190 gold? Oh yeah, we can't get more because they don't
After.
have more. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, not because
Yeah.
we don't have money. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I do not want to spend the night in this place. Let's just buy it and get out
Okay.
of here.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Sure.
Should we ask them to make the bows and then we pick them up later? Or should we just assume they're gonna make bows regardless?
Yeah, I think the kind thing to do would be to say there is a fairly high likelihood that we'll come back in a month or two. Like, definitely not like a couple days because it takes a while. Yeah.
Can we ask if there's like maybe a small like gold fee that we can put down to like basically place an order ahead of time and like reserve them for
Yeah,
us?
I mean, yeah. I assume
If that's
what's,
needed, if it's
like,
not
the place
gold.
more- Yeah.
Yeah, you can head back to the inn/bowery, and the gentleman's still sort of there, pacing back and forth. He seems excited when you come back. So, bows? You're going to buy some?
Yeah, so yeah, I
Yes.
think we'll take all 6 of your short bows.
Good.
And
Can I interest you in an advanced order for 4 more?
so here's the thing. I don't want to be rude and say that we will buy them when we might not actually come back, because our town is a very, very far ways away, and situations may change in the weeks that it takes us to travel there and back, and what are words?
But we might be interested in to come back in the future. to
Yeah,
get
so
more.
we could place down a small amount of pre-order money to at least give you some... What, God. Oh my God. What are words?
Some small amount of payment for your time in the event that we don't come back. At the very
Well, we'll be
least, you wouldn't
making
have
them
wasted it.
anyway, and it's a dangerous road out there. You might not even make it back to your home alive if it's that far away.
Exactly.
But why don't we? I'll just remember your faces. Hard to forget, I think. And if you come back, we'll remember that you've already bought 6, and we'll count them towards your next order.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Sounds great.
Excellent, excellent. So, do you have the coin? 25 times 6, 4 20s and 100, and then 2 25s and 50. So I think it's 150 pieces of gold, or 10 times that in silver, whatever you've got. Also, we do trade iron. If you have any iron or steel available.
We have it in silver.
That's fine. Silver's a wonderful coinage.
Yeah, I guess
Do you
we
need
all
all these
just get it
arrows
from the-
What do you need all these bows for? They say as they like count out the coins and make the small talk as the transactions go back and
Yeah,
forth.
I think I'll say same story about how like we're from a town, it's a very very small town from up north. Times are very very difficult. Need to defend our town, so we need to get some more
Absolutely.
arms. Yeah.
Completely understand. Happy to be of service, good citizens of the world. Here you go. Here's your 6 bows. I think this is the 150 gold that I needed.
Cool.
Guy glances towards the sky. It's getting pretty late. I don't know. You might have missed exit times. If you have, if the gates are already closed, come on by. We also have rooms. Plenty of clean rooms, enough for each of you to have your own spot. Normally the rates are 5 silver a head, including food, but because you bought boats from us, 3 silver a head, and your pack animal can stay in our barn for just a single silver. It's a great deal. Best deal you'll find in all of town.
That sounds
10 silver for
10
for all of
silver.
you. Food and lodging.
that sounds wonderful,
clo-
but
Let's
Closing time.
yeah, we were kind of planning to head out tonight.
Well, then you should hurry.
Yes.
The gates close
And
before
we-
sundown, and no one is allowed in or out after the gates close.
Hey,
Let's
why
hurry
is
up.
no one
Even-
allowed?
Wonderful.
It's
We'll
pretty-
hurry on then.
It's reasonable. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
All
Let's hurry away. See if we can make it.
Yep. Right. We're gonna non-suspiciously make our way through town relatively mildly fast.
Yeah. You do your best to get back to the gates before they close.
Fuck.
It is a new town, and there's a little bit of confusion, and there's some sketchy people standing around. Like you come through an alleyway, or you come through a street, which you're pretty sure you came down earlier, and you'll see down the road there's like 8 people huddled around in a corner, and when one of them moves slightly, you can see that there's like an unconscious body at their feet. And you're, at the other side of the street, maybe like, 100 yards from them. Not even 100 yards, like 30 yards from them. Is this the sort of thing where you would try and go down the street, or maybe find another way around?
Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably find our way around. Yeah.
There's some encounters like that. Some thugs in an alleyway. Maybe they just robbed someone. Maybe they've just come across a body. Who really knows? You find your way around. You look for something else. There's an actual, there's an alleyway that looks like it heads right towards the wall, but like, there just seems to be a very unusual number of like ill people sitting in the alleyway, and there's like rats scrambling around, dragging little bits of food back and forth, and there's like there's sitting water that has like the stench of things that people have just tossed out of their bedroom windows into the city streets. It's a gross and dirty place, and so it takes you a little while to make your way back to the gate. And by the time you get there, it is already closed. The guard on duty is the same one who brought you in, and as they see you approach, they shake their head and goes, "I'm sorry, gates have been closed for the night. It's very dangerous out there."
All right. Yeah.
"Don't worry," and he pats the big wooden doors. Middle of these doors are cored with lead, so no spirits can cross in during the night. No creatures can move ethereally into town. We're safe here, I promise you.
Nice. Cool.
Wonderful.
Could you possibly make an exception for us? We would really like to head back north, if that's possible.
Sorry. No exceptions are made. Not even for the lord of the town.
Yeah. I guess
Okay.
we're going back to the inn.
All right. I guess
Damn it.
we'll. Guess we're heading back to the inn. Yeah.
Where's our llama?
With you.
us, right?
Yeah, with us. Yeah.
No, there's no way to open that. Mm. All right.
You make your way back to the inn. The sun begins to set. Long shadows move throughout the town. The innkeeper is excited to see you again. "Oh, sorry, friends. Unfortunately, it looks like you're still here. But don't worry, there's plenty of room in our humble abode for you. How do you feel about catfish and frog's legs?
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll cook you up some real quick here. And they'll head back into the kitchen. One of the other guy in the building will show you where your rooms are and,
And we'll make sure to
load off.
bring all of the goods on the alpaca up to the room so they can't be stolen while the alpaca is
Sleep on top of our money.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Good precautions to be taking.
Yeah.
Why don't we take our second break right here? Okay. When we come back, we have some more things that are going to happen in Kah-Ella for you.
Ooh.
Nah. This is an uneventful, safe and happy place. It's fine. Everything's fine. Alright, we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Embers of the Wilds. Maybe we're feeling a little bit more of the points of light in a sea of darkness now. Maybe. You wake up the next morning. None of your stuff is stolen. Everything's fine. The two gentlemen are back downstairs again. And you wake up early enough to see that there apparently were night guards that were placed inside the inn. Someone who was conscripted or, was paid to keep a watch out at night, wearing more of this padded armor, not with the alligator skin this time, just like old clothes that have been folded and sewn in on each other to make something nice and thick. And they carried with them just a big wooden club. And then they watched the inn at night, made sure nothing went awry. And you could catch them leaving in the morning, and one of the gentlemen downstairs paying them some copper coins as they take off. As you sit down for your breakfast, though, a person approaches. Would one of you please roll me a d6 and a d10?
Oh, I don't want to be responsible for this.
I'll do it.
Both or separately.
Either one, whatever.
Nice.
It is an older woman approaching you. The d6 is for the gender of the person. 1, 2, 3 is female, 4, 5, 6 is male. 1 and 4 are young. 2 and 5 are middle-aged. 3 and 6 are old-aged. So it's an older woman who is approaching you. And she comes up, sort of wringing her hands together, and looks at the three of you in the inn before cautiously stepping in and saying, excuse me? You're the travelers that arrived yesterday, aren't you? Could I have a word with you? And one of the innkeepers steps forward and says, get out of here, old woman. Leave our my customers alone. Let them eat their breakfast in peace. You don't need to be harassing them with your problems this early in the morning.
I call in the woman and say, no, it's fine.
She comes in, wringing hands, eyes downcast, before roving at you and goes, the guards at the east gate, they said you came with weapons and armor and magic? Is this true?
Why do you ask?
My husband, he is a crocodile, alligator hunter. He and the rest of our family, they take boats down towards the swamp, hunt alligators, bring them back and work them into leathers for people to wear. And she makes it like a quick gesture, and you can see she also is wearing alligator skin boots.
I've seen all of your
fairly common that you've seen around here.
Yeah.
Your clothing here seems to be, it's pretty beautiful craftsmanship making all of these.
Well, our family does excellent work. Some of the best gear you'll find around, the best leather workers for as far as civilization stretches, I think. They normally take 5 days for their trip, and they've been gone 8 now. I fear the worst. But maybe they're just snagged or stuck somewhere. I don't know. We've already I've already begged the town ranger to go looking for them. I was hoping I might be able to buy your services to find them. I can pay you if you bring them back alive, and a little less if you can return their bodies.
Do you know where they went?
And the swamp.
The river south towards the swamp. They use a pole boat with some oars to make the way. It's a relatively calm river most of the way, minus the one section of rapids. But we have an extra boat we could lend you to search the swamp. Should be easy. Just avoid the rapid. Take the boat out when you get to the rapids and put it back in on the other side. She looks at you with big, sad, pleading eyes. The woman's got to be 74, 75. Must have been married to this guy a long time.
And so what of the town guard? Did they not find them, or?
Town guard doesn't have the resources to go searching for missing peoples.
Can I
Dangerous job hunting.
Sorry. Can I try and sneak out of the conversation, talk to the innkeeper, and very quietly ask how often do people go missing? Is this a thing that we could maybe help with, or is this a very, very common thing that happens?
He shrugs. Well, sometimes people go missing, but usually on long distant journeys. I think there was a caravan that tried to go to Pheromonium recently. Well, a couple months ago, and they never returned. Aside from that, it's usually... This is a safe place. Kah-Ella's a very safe place. You might get murdered in town, perhaps, for your money, but...
Okay.
Missing in the swamp is unusual.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
I never caught your name. Well, what's your name? I asked the crocodile person.
My name is, Adaptic.
Adaptic. What a lovely name. So unusual and rare, miss.
And yours?
I'm Tristel.
Lovely to meet you.
Likewise.
Well, as I said, my husband and our sons, one of our daughters, are out on the boat.
Yeah, well,
I have some money. We have lots of clothing. Fine gator skin works. I'm sure they would sell for a fortune wherever you're from. We could outfit you with all the clothes you could need if you could just bring them back. Alive
Seems
or
like
otherwise.
there's dangerous waters there, though, and none of us are very skilled in using a boat or navigating.
I think we can probably do this.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I want to say to Kyra in particular, well, if she's offering clothes, we could not for me. We're here trying to outfit, a set of guards. It might be worthwhile to get crocodile leather for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have to, we could go down there, find them, save them if they're in trouble, and send them back up the river, and then just go straight back to Trog Canyon. And when they make it back to Kah-Ella, they'll say, hey, this party helped us out, and so when we come back, we can get payment or whatever we want, so...
Yeah.
We wouldn't have to waste that much time.
That's true. Kind of like an IOU.
Yeah.
Although if we go back as a party, we can at least... There's some proof that we did it, and not that they just made it back.
I don't think we need payment that much.
Yeah.
But it would be good to get the armor.
Yeah, it is free.
If it is
leather.
armor grade leather, I don't know if it is or if it's just regular clothes.
Well, you can get clothing or you could get armor, probably a little bit of both. She seems pretty desperate. You could probably take her for everything she's worth at this point.
No.
That's that's her bargaining chip because that's what they make.
So you can get leather, you could get hide, I think even like the really well-made alligator skin might even qualify as studded leather without the studs. And then just, whatever sorts of clothing that you might want, which you could keep for yourself or resell elsewhere, or...
Yeah, I think we can do it.
Do we have to go through the river? Can we not walk along the river?
Well, they're alligator hunters. At a certain point, you'll probably have to cross water, and a boat is useful. Although, far be it from me to tell you how to do your job. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, I feel like we could probably walk along the river, but once we get to the swamp, we're gonna have to use a boat.
Yeah.
So I think a boat would be nice.
Yeah, because
You
we
are
need
extra.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Excellent. My husband, he's she makes a gesture with her hand indicating that he's about 5'3", 5'4", sort of short-ish. His name is Cash, and our children are Meg, Kilo, and Nibble. You can find them hopefully out there.
Yeah, I think we can do our best, and we'll see if we can find them. It seems like, you've lost some important people in your family, so I think we can find some time to help out.
Thank you. Thank you, Tristel and her
Kyra.
What is Kyra? Tristel and Kyra, and
Pearl.
what a fitting name.
Thanks. Do you know of any dangers along this way, apart from the alligators, I suppose? I don't think I've ever met alligators.
You have to be very careful. They look like nothing. They look like maybe a drifting log or just a bit of duckweed. It takes a very cunning, skillful eye to spot them.
Are they scared of anything? Can we drive them away with lights of some sort, or?
She shakes her head. Small reptile brains, not particularly intelligent, just lurking, waiting below the surface. They fear nothing. They're quite dangerous.
Yeah, we've dealt with a few small reptile brains before, so I think we might know the type.
You're married, I see. A man.
No, it's, no, it's not like that.
Oh, so my mistakes.
You're absolutely correct, though.
My husband, I do dearly love him, but anyway,
Well, don't worry. We'll bring him and his lovely lizard brain back home.
Thank you very much, and the children too, please, if possible.
Of course.
Of course.
They do travel together, I presume.
Yes, all together in the same boat. If you find one, you should hopefully find them all. And we've also sent the Wolfborn Ranger out. She's agreed to go looking on my behalf for them. So you may find another out there looking for them.
Who is this ranger?
Grizz. She's her brow furrows. A wild child. Abandoned by her family for right around the time of the war near the swamp. Raised by creatures that lived there and roamed the open plains. Didn't come back to civilization until she was a wee child, until she was mostly grown.
That's a cool name. The Wolfborn Ranger.
Yeah.
Oh, does she live in town, or?
Usually. She does live in town, but prefers the wilds. She has a small place, and she points upriver, near the Lord's estate, a small abode. But being the ranger, she mostly spends her time outside of town.
Sounds like an interesting character. I hope we do run across her.
Yeah, any help would be would be really nice along the way. So, but yeah,
Thank you.
should we
I can't thank you enough.
pack up and take the boat, or actually, do we leave any of our stuff?
I don't think so
A
now.
llama in a boat.
Yeah.
Oh, the llama, right?
Fuck. Shit
Oh,
just got
jeez.
complicated.
You could leave it here with her or the innkeepers if you trust them.
I
Yeah,
don't.
I think we were just trying to not come back into town. Oh, we gotta pay the frickin' fee if we do. Just to get our stuff.
I mean, we could travel, like, I don't know, east for a while, or northeast, and, like, see if we can find a spot where we can,
Park it.
yeah, just park it somewhere, you know?
I don't know about that.
That is a good way to get your llama eaten by wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. How about,
I
what
mean-
if I walk the llama next to the river while you two are in the boat? And then I can stay out of water. And then
Yeah.
everything's gonna be great.
Yeah, actually.
Great plan. Perfect. Okay. Party heads out. You get to the gate. They hand you back all of your weapons, all of your armor, your arcane focus. They go through a little checklist that they have to make sure that you got back everything. They seem very up in level about this. It's all there appropriately. And they let you leave without charging you for exiting. The woman, Adaptech, great name, will be there with a boat, and she'll like row across the little bit of river and leave the boat with you on a long cord with some oars tucked in the deck. So you can like lead the boat along the river, or you can take it out and carry it if need be. It's kind of heavy, but between the three of you, you should be able to carry it without too much problem. And you guys can set off. Walking
found the
alongside
gold.
the river. Yes, there's a gold left. There are 3
Wow.
gold coins left in the boat. Yes.
Wow.
It seems that they must have forgotten them there, but they're yours for the taking if you can steal from an old woman.
Well,
I think we can. I think we can. I think we have it in us.
Yeah.
I think I would just, yeah, I was convinced by Tristel. I blame Tristel for this theft. Okay, do we carry this boat, or do we want to hop into it immediately?
No, I feel like your plan of someone walks by the river holding a llama as the others float alongside.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, like, oh, we got our weapons back, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And nothing's missing.
Correct.
Okay. Oh,
100% there.
did Tristel's lyre count as a weapon? Like, did they confiscate that, or?
They did not confiscate that, no.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask about that. I could have been spelling this whole time.
Not sure if that would have been a good idea, but
No, probably would have gotten us put in a cell.
probably, yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, I don't want to be in the boat, but I feel like I can make ranged attacks. Although I guess actually you have the bow, Kyra, so you can also.
Yeah,
make
but I
ranged
sink if I fall out of the boat.
Yeah.
So I think I'm more afraid of the water than you.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. So who should be in the boat? Who should be walking?
I'll be in the boat.
Oh, you like water. That's true.
Yes,
Okay.
I love it.
Oh, actually, I forget how long it takes to doff my armor. Like, if I fall into the water, am I just permadead, or can I like dunk my armor and try and float back up?
You can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to 1/3 your constitution score rounded up. And I believe you have a lot of con, don't
Yes, I have an 18.
you? You can hold your breath for 5 minutes. No,
Okay, so
6
yeah, I can
Oh.
take my armor off. Okay, so it's not that dangerous then.
If you are exercising while holding your breath, that time gets cut in half, but that's still 3 minutes of like vigorously swimming or taking off your armor underwater. So you should be fine.
Okay.
You should be fine.
Don't do
You might
calisthenics.
You might
I'm gonna
your
lose my
water at the
armor,
bottom
but
of the river,
I'm not gonna die.
Would it be possible to like swim down and pick up pieces one by one later?
You know,
or-
if it was a nice, like, solid floor bed with good visibility where you could see it, then it wouldn't be that difficult. You know, you could, well, you would have to swim down and then, like, drag it over, because it's hard to swim up with a lot of weight. But you might be able to, like, grab it and drag it and breathe and grab it and drag it and breathe.
Because
But
then I could like get my
bottom
bearings, see where the shore is, then dive and go that way. Yeah.
Right. But a riverbed is going to be really soft and silty and probably not super clear. And it's possible that you might just lose track of it, or that you might get swept downriver enough that you can't quite relocate it. There's a strong possibility that it could be lost.
Yeah.
It's a
But it's
little
fine for now.
spooky.
I mean, I mostly was just like, if I fall in the river, I'm not gonna just die. Like, then I would be much more afraid of the water. But
I mean, unless something is holding on to you, preventing you from surfacing.
yeah, like an alligator or something like that. I'm not really sure if there's any around here.
Do we really have to be in the river though? Like, can't we all just walk?
There's a
next to the
long
river?
rope on the boat. You could just let the boat float in the water and hold on to it. And just like
Yeah.
let it float and then kick it out as it gets caught on things.
Yeah, that seems like a good start at least. Like, I think we should avoid being in the water as much as possible and only use it when we have to, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
I think.
Down the river we head. It will take you about a day and change to make it to the swamp.
Oh, what day did
Forest
we
over
wake
here.
up? At the.
Questions.
So we found the traveler in the fields on the 2nd, and then on the 3rd, we saw the light. Or no, wait, we saw the light in the woods on the 2nd. And then
The travel was like on the 1st. That was like pretty close to Troll Canyon. Because we set out on
So-
the 1st.
Yeah.
Right. It took 3 days. So the first day you left was the 1st, and you didn't run into anything. The 2nd you met Stuka, and you saw the light in the woods.
Yep.
And the 3rd day is when you arrived at Kah-Ella.
Right. Okay, so it's the 4th now.
And I assume we probably like picked up 1 or 2 more rations in the city just to make sure we don't starve.
Yes, you can have bought some more rations on your exit. They were available for sale at normal rates.
Okay.
Once outside of the city, the calmness and tranquility of the wilds returns to you. You've got the gentle flowing waters, the occasional breeze, the warm sunlight, the late afternoon warmth, the late summer warmth. There's no sickness here. You don't have the, sketchy people crowding about. It will take you a little more than a day to reach the swamp. So that first day of travel is... Oh, I thought these were 9s, but they're 6s. Is boring. Nothing along the river save for some creatures here and there, like a little fish, maybe some turtles. You catch a pair of wolves drinking from the river on the other side of the river, and they scatter as you get too close. Nothing too dangerous. You can make your camp. I think the swamp is maybe not quite in view yet. You're probably like 5 miles from the swamp when you make your camp. So nothing to see that night. The next day, you approach the swamp and the forest, and you can get right up close to it. Here, it teems with life. Unlike the big, vast open plain where there's lots of nothing, lots of like tall grasses blowing, the swamp here is like buzzing with insects. All sorts of life is all over the place. The whole zone is just like, it's like a swamp. Let me change the music appropriately though. You can look in. You can see that the ground is soggy in some places, quite firm in others. Rocky outcroppings all over. Large stretches of water that would need to be waded or boated through. Turtles, herons, all sorts of birds perched in the trees. Lots of mangrove trees sort of reaching out, their roots coming up and down into the water again.
Do we see any like signs of people having been here recently? Like, I don't know, campfires or
give me an
footprints?
investigation check. As the party searches the area. Well, that will do it, actually. You very quickly find a campfire. Not just a campfire, what appears to be a semi-permanent camp spot. There are some logs that have been, or like a tree that has been chopped down and into like some log blocks that are sat around like someone might sit on them near a campfire. There's a circle of stones with some charred wood inside of it. And there's even a little lean-to where there's a branch of a tree that's come out and someone has attached a tarp to it to create like a reflective shade so that the heat of the fire can bounce off of it and back onto your back, or that you can sleep underneath it. Definitely not... No one's here now. If someone can give me a DC 15 survival check, you can maybe determine how long ago this camp was last visited, at least with a ballpark figure.
I don't have a
but I'll roll anyways.
Okay. Should we all roll, or?
Yes, please. Get an idea for how good each of you are at this. Oh, so close, but not close
Very
enough.
close.
Yeah, the fires have been out for at least 2 days, but beyond that, could have been a week, could have been a month. Who knows?
Methinks this is our ranger. This is quite the setup.
I mean, so
Definitely knows at a camp.
my guess is that we just entered the swamp right next to the river, so this seems like a staging point to enter the rest of the swamp. If it's at a location that makes sense for that.
That's a spot-on analysis. Right near the edge, in a spot where you could have cover from the trees, but not be out in the plains, and it's not so damp and wet that you can't, like, have a comfortable abode.
Does it look designed for one person or like a group of people?
There are 4 stumps sat around a fire, or a fire pit.
Okay. That makes sense. I'm guessing our alligator hunters regularly pass through here.
Yeah. And there are 4 of them.
That's true.
Well,
Any
Can we leave the llama
tracks?
here?
Oh, maybe. Does it look like we can bring the llama into the rest of the swamp, or does it look like it's impossible, basically?
if you could mind control the llama, you could probably do it. But the llama is not a big fan of walking through, like, weird, sketchy swamp waters. It's, you know, it balks after
Can I
approach.
I'm pretty
charm
good at
this
animal
llama?
handling, so, you know, maybe I can animal handle this one into wanting to come with us.
You think so?
Try it.
There are alligators, and alligators appreciate llamas, especially dumb llamas who are not in their
Maybe.
element.
Yeah.
And especially
What?
leaving the llama here is going to be eaten very quickly.
It might cause more issues, but I'm not sure about leaving it somewhere. That feels kind of scary too.
I feel like one of us should stay behind. I can stay behind.
Well, you're the strong one.
Well, this is going to be a lot of boats and ranged, I feel like.
That's true. Pearl, we've got this.
Do we?
Yes.
I don't want to hop into that thing and I point at the boat.
It's okay. If any of us need to get into the water, I'll do it. You don't have to get a single hair on your body wet.
Okay, I mean,
Not a
This
whisker.
this seems dangerous. I don't know about leaving Khyra behind.
Well, if there's anyone who can handle themselves on their own, I'd say our Kyra is the one.
I suppose, yeah, but can we handle ourselves in there? There seems to be a lot of creatures around here.
In the worst case scenario, we turn invisible and escape.
Oh.
Can you cast invisibility on both of you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right then.
That sounds really cool, actually.
Just boat floating away.
Yeah.
Actually, let me check. I may be able to include the boat and all that.
Ooh.
Wait, if we are, like, carrying the boat? Or...
The boat is too big to be considered
No.
carrying gear for invisibility.
Yeah, it's carrying.
It would need a separate invisibility spell of its own.
If you put your hand, like, under the bottom brick of a castle and then you cast invisibility, the whole castle goes invisible.
I think that's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
Yes, we're now carrying
Mhm.
the castle.
Exactly. Or if casting it on Khyra while we're in battle would make the whole battle invisible because Kyra is carrying the battle.
Hey!
Yeah. And there we go.
You can take inspiration.
Wow.
That's really good.
Like, what?
Take inspiration.
Inspiration.
That's
Forgetting to
amazing.
assign it to people, but that was clever.
That's good. I have inspiration still, but I don't remember why I got it. I haven't used it.
This is my first time getting inspired.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I get a little sticker. Nice.
Now all three of us have inspiration.
Neat.
It is basically like a good job sticker.
Gold star.
You did it.
But I can only give you more gold stars if you use your existing gold stars.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Only
So we
one at a
gotta.
time.
Okay.
Get it.
How do we use inspiration
it's
exactly?
advantage on rolls, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Advantage on any roll you want. You name a roll, you get advantage on it.
Okay.
Even death saving throws.
Oh.
Ooh.
Although that means I'm gonna save it until I'm making death saving throws.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's unlikely you'll be in that situation.
Is it, Neil?
Right. Right.
Okay.
Alrighty. Are you ready, Pearl?
I'm not sure. How far are we gonna go into the woods? And how do we get back? We don't have a map over this place that at least makes any sense, right?
I'll be on the watch if they come out without you.
Okay.
Let's see.
We need
Well, I have
to be
my
able to find our way
daggers.
back.
What we can do is along the way, they're trees, right? I mean, it's a swamp, but we can mark them with my dagger. So that we'll be able to tell which way we've come from. When we're coming
Lead
back.
a trail right back to Khyra for anyone to follow.
Yes. That sounds
Uh,
good, actually.
That's a great plan.
Yeah.
well, it's
You'll
only
line them
got...
up, I'll knock them down.
Okay. I mean, as long as we don't go too deep, as long as we don't get lost, I guess we could do a little search
Yeah.
and then make our way back.
Yeah. So, Pearl and Tristel, alone, head into
Dun dun.
the swamp.
Kind of
The
wish I was
boat.
back there chilling with the
Boat
llama
left.
at this point.
With Khyra, or are you taking the boat with you?
Take the boat with. Yeah.
Yeah, aren't we using the boat to navigate it? And yeah, we don't want to be trudging through crocky waters. Alligator.
Yes.
Gatory? Gatory?
Is there a clear river that, like, because if we're in a river, it's probably easier to, like, make our way back to the camp where Khyra is, right?
Mm-hmm. There is a very wide channel from where the river enters the swamp, and there's still like a big watery channel here. Other areas of the swamp will probably be broken up into like shallow waters or broken waters, but for right here at least, nice big easy to navigate channel.
Okay, I'm gonna concentrate 100% on like keeping my eyes and ears and nose open for any suspicious activity in the water or elsewhere.
Yes.
Yep.
Good. Very good. And that leaves Tristel to do the rowing.
Yes.
Okay. Here's our little robo token. Ah, here's our little robo token.
Oh,
Yay.
good. I thought you were looking for ominous music again.
I actually have real life experience with this situation.
Oh.
Rowing?
Go through a swamp?
With alligators.
Oh.
In an
Maybe you should've
inflatable
gone on the
boat.
boat.
In Florida?
Yes. Yeah,
Wait,
so...
actually?
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
That was a meme, not like, okay.
No, I was, this was like when I was really, really young. I barely remember this. We had a inflatable boat going down one of the canals in the city.
Oh my god.
And we're just like trundling around, and alligator pops up maybe 10 feet away from us, 20 feet away from us, and hisses really loudly.
Oh.
Yep. That was an experience.
Well,
It's like, go away, and you're like, yes, I will.
Yes, please.
Yeah, don't
I
mind
would
if
like
I
to
do.
leave.
Oh, that's so cool. I've only seen them in New Orleans. And I was in a four-wheeler.
Yeah, what was the... It's been so long since I've been there. I forget the town's name. My cousins live there.
Gators.
this boat was not inflatable that we're on,
This
right?
is
This
not
one's not.
inflatable boat.
Okay.
No.
Plastic has not been invented yet.
It's a little more durable.
Yeah.
Cape Coral, that's it.
I'm rowing, but I kind of want to, maybe before we set out, I guess, how long does this last? 10 minutes? While we're rowing about, I kind of want to take breaks and ritual cast, detect magic while we're going through here.
It's a clever idea.
Just for safety.
Oh yeah, and we've never been this far south, so we don't know if the ambient levels of magic is different here.
That is a fantastic point.
Is it ambient or ambient? Or is that an
Ambient.
accent thing? Sorry, what did you say, Kara?
Yeah, I think it's
Ambient.
Fantastic question. I have detailed notes on this.
Or you're trying to trick us,
Oh.
and you don't actually have detailed notes. You just want us to think it's detailed.
Oh.
I had detailed notes on this, and they're here somewhere.
Control F.
Oh my god, I wish.
If only.
You know, they might actually be digitally bound.
I've always thought about getting like those, like, I think it might be Evernote, where it's like you write down the notes and then it like machine learning translates them into digital notes.
Tell me more.
Yeah. That's all I know. I just remember seeing it before. I was looking for like notepads, planners.
Mhm. Here we go. We are 3. So, and we are. The level of ambient magic around you is moderate.
Moderate.
Yes, there's moderate magic all over this place. Through the trees, through the water, in the air. It's everywhere.
And this is the
Okay.
mixed magic. All the different. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, as you move through the swamp, Pearl's on lookout. Tristella's rowing and stopping occasionally to cast Detect Magic. Pearl, I would like you to make me the world's greatest perception check.
Are you trying to make me consume my sticker already? Or?
I'm not trying to make you do anything.
Out of combat, can I give Bardic Inspiration die? Damn it, it's only for attack things. We went over this. Or like-
Do I use my inspiration for this or not?
Wait, an ability check.
There you go. Yes,
Yeah?
you could use your Bardic Inspiration then.
How long does it
Haha.
last for?
So it's just like an action. I think it's meant to be used immediately.
But then
So
you
last
would
for
have to know that I'm about to spot something. This is weird.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
this is a
let me
more
see.
generalized search. That's a very good point.
I can choose to use this feature after the creature makes its roll.
What?
Yeah, but I think you're being inspired by one thing, and this is more of like you're searching the swamp for hours while you row through
Yeah.
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 it. Point.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll
Well-
just use my inspiration. It's fine. I'll do it.
Just have to come up with another really good joke.
Yeah, exactly. I
No
got
pressure.
a lot of those around. Okay. I'm glad I did that.
I'm also glad. I'm so
Yeah.
glad.
Was that one? I would have had a lot of fun with that one. I would have been like, yeah, you see something. It's right over there, right as something comes out from the other direction. Ah, would have been perfect.
Okay.
No, you don't notice much as you row through the swamps. You don't realize the things that are around you, the things that you are passing. You just don't. You don't notice the signs
Okay.
until they become a little too obvious. Until you and your boat comes across a plank, like a hewn log that rests between one little patch of dry land and another little patch of dry land, off to one side of the large river that flows through things. It is clear signs of humanoid activity.
That seems promising. Do we see anything else there? What is the...
Well, the cover is pretty thick around these parts. You can't see too far away, but you do see this board, this like section of split log, makes a bridge between these two little islands. There could be something further on. It's the first sign of humanity you've seen since you left Khyperia at the camp.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess I'm wondering if this is related to who we're looking for, though, but it's like they're here because they're lost.
I mean, I feel
So,
like they should know these swamps pretty well at this point, if they do this regularly.
I mean, yeah, if there's someone else here, it could be that they're captured
Yeah, or they were attacked and...
or
Struggle
attacked,
to-
yeah.
Yeah. Should we go
Um,
investigate?
Maybe. There are trees all around.
Lots of them.
I'm wondering, Pearl, could you maybe do some scouting for us from above? With your feline prowess?
Does it look like there's like visibility if I were to climb a tree?
You could climb a tree and you would get slightly better visibility, but there's going to be enough trees that you won't be able to see like too far distant. You could like see over the immediate ground cover, So if like, there's a bush in front of you, you don't know what's behind it, you could climb a tree and see just beyond this bush. But then you'd need to like go beyond it and climb another tree to see a little bit further. It'd be lots of up and down and up and down and up and down.
That might still be valuable.
Unless you jumped from tree to tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I guess we'll row the boat to the edge of the water, and then I make my way up the nearest tree. Not fully, just like up a little bit.
Yeah. You can see beyond there are more such hewn planks connecting island to island to island, forming a path and a direction.
Oh. Christelle, there seems to be a path here leading somewhere.
I guess, do we follow it? Do we have much of a choice?
I mean,
it's the first sign of anything we've seen. Well, right, but we can't bring the llama with us.
I guess we can just go there and see what's up. And if it's dangerous, we will leave very quickly.
Yes. Let's approach cautiously so that we can escape if needed.
Okay, let's just be sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You approach sneakily. Can I get stealth rolls from you? 10 and a 22. We are only as stealthy as our least stealthy party member, so a 10 is what we will be going with.
Rip.
I was considering using Tides of Chaos for this one, but...
Well, you did use Tides of Chaos recently, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Last session, I believe. Very quickly, you will follow these boards and find what appears to be another small camp. However, this one is much different than the previous. It does have a little lean-to, but it also has a bunch of crates and boxes that are placed around the camp. There doesn't seem to be a central fire spot, but there are some barrels as well. It looks like a bunch of supplies. Definitely no alligator hunter would be carrying these large crates and boxes and stacking them up here. And their age indicates that they're not particularly old. Maybe the boxes are old, but they haven't been here for a long time. They're not covered with like growing plants or anything. The area is still fairly well cleared.
If I climb out of the tree, do I see anyone or anything further away from this camp or around the camp?
I'm going to need a really good perception check from you. There's a lot of stuff out here. There's a lot of places things could hide. There's a lot of potential cover about. No.
Just
all
trees.
Good. Just trees.
Okay.
Just tree things.
Okay, I guess we'll... Should we head to that camp over there?
Sure.
I've got a bad feeling
Definitely
about this
be
camp,
cautious. Yeah, let's definitely be cautious.
I think we're still going to make our way very sneakily toward the camp until we're like right next to it, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, you do come up right next to the camp. I'm going to bring you to a page that shows you the camp that you are at. So you've got like a little lean-to over here. You've got some... Oh, I should probably drag you up here so you can see exactly what's going on. There's a little lean-to, there's some crates, there's some boxes, there's some barrels. And it's as you step into the camp, like to inspect what's going on around here, that you notice something unusual. There is a skeleton, like in this tree, like a branch is going through the skeleton's rib cage. And the whole thing is still sort of like leaned back against the tree. And then a moment passes, and the skeleton like turns to face you, and goes like it's going to move towards you, but it's clearly like caught on the branch that's running through its ribcage, like stuck, pinned against the tree. It still reaches for you. It still wants to grab you, but it cannot move.
Tristal? I don't think skeletons are supposed to do that, right?
I don't think so either. Do I notice any type of magic that's different?
It would take 10 minutes to stop and ritual cast Detect Magic.
It can stick around for 10 minutes. It's stuck in
Yeah.
the... Maybe
Well,
that wouldn't work.
Let me...
Probably fine.
Actually...
I'm gonna make my way up
so
the
it's,
street.
it's stuck on the branch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to... I think I'll touch it. We'll find out what's going on.
No, Tristal,
and I want
don't
to
touch
cast... I want to cast Identify.
Okay.
So
Which is
Identify
instantaneous.
will consume that pearl that you needed.
Does it consume it?
It
I
cons-
Wait, I
thought...
thought it...
Does it not
I thought
consume it?
that's the only one I need.
Oh, let me double
I
check.
thought so too.
Identify. A pearl worth at least 100 GP and an owl feather. Ooh, right. It normally says materials are not consumed unless otherwise specified, I think. Right? Yeah, which the spell consumes. So I think this is not consumed. I think you can cast it and the pearl will stay. Let me just double check to be ultra sure on this.
Sure.
I think you're right, though.
I was hoping that because I think I saw someone in chat say that last time because I was so torn up about all my money being gone.
I literally Googled D&D are spell components consumed. Spell doesn't consume and blah blah blah. For example, the pearl required by the Identify spell isn't consumed.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so then let's do that because it's 1 minute, much quicker than 10, in and out.
Yes.
Wait, you need to
so
like touch the skeleton for 1 minute?
I touch it throughout the casting.
I'm uncomfortable with this.
Yeah. As you get close to it, it reaches out its bony fingers and like tries to make a grab for your neck, but it's caught on the tree branch, on the scrawny, broken tree branch. You could probably just reach out and grab its hand from a distance, because it's trying to reach you. It's trying to hold your neck gently. Or not so gently. Do we do this? Do we identify it? We're comfortable with that?
Are we? Pearl? Do I touch it?
I'm not comfortable with any of this. I never wanted to go into this swamp, but here we are. There's water everywhere. There's trees everywhere. Can't see anything, and there's a skeleton right there.
I think I need to touch it. I think I can tell it's being magicked.
Oh boy.
I don't think I need to touch it. Let's get out of here.
And that, my dear players, is when the boxes begin to move. And they don't just move, they break. And coming out from the boxes
Oh, jeez.
3 undead humanoids. 3 zombies, if you will. They smash the boxes and begin to get to their feet. And this is where we will end our session for today.
Oh, jeez.
When we come back next week,
Oh, jeez.
2 of our brave heroes will be in a camp with zombies and a skeleton, while one of our heroes plays with a llama and rests comfortably in a warm fire.
Vacation. Wow. I'm spooked.
I wish I could just chill with the llama. That seems nice.
That seems the place to be.
Yeah.
The weasel, ferret,
Mm.
turkey.
Well, that'll be our session for today. Happy Halloween, everybody. If you're off to do any Halloween-related things. If not, I'm so sorry.
Happy Halloween. Here's a box of zombies.
I'm Halloween. Are you dressing up, Neil?
I am. Yes, I have a costume prepared for our party tonight.
Nice.
What
Can
about
you share what it is?
Yeah, so I've made this pretty good, it's not perfect, I need to get a better scythe for it, but a pretty good Grim Reaper outfit. That is, it's got like bony hands, bony feet, but the face is like really covered so you can't see it, so it's just sort of like a blank void, and sort of like long, spooky, dripping clothing, almost like a Nazgul sort of look. And and I prefer just to, stand around very quietly, not moving very much, and being a spooky presence in the corner, or like following people around silently, a little too close for comfort, and just
Nice.
I like the
Just-
trick part of trick or treating. The
Yeah.
lurking. Mm-hmm.
Adding the ambiance for sure. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, it helps that I don't know the people whose house we're going to. A guy who's new in town, who like just showed up in our social circle and blended in very quickly, but I've never met any of his other friends or his housemates, and I barely know the guy myself, so I don't know. We'll see.
And nobody
See
will
how it
know you,
goes,
you're
yeah.
just this ominous presence.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can show up like separate from my wife. Like maybe she can go first, and then I can just go up at the door and knock and see if they let me in. We'll find out.
Oh, yeah, speaking of, I have a friend very into D&D who's moving to Colorado soon. So
Oh,
Well. Are they moving to the Boulder area?
I have no idea. I should ask.
Mm-hmm. Boulder, good part of Colorado.
Seems good.
What
Oh,
about
love
you,
it, love it.
Giselle?
the-
What are you wearing?
So this is part of it. I have like a wax that it's like the character I'm dressing up as is brunette, so I need to cover this up and it'll wash out and my hair like isn't stained. But it's a character from Deathloop. The most exciting part of the costume is her extremely long ponytail, like Ariana Grande long. So I get to finesse this and put on a really long ponytail, so that's exciting.
Nice. Thank you.
Cool.
How's Outer Wilds going? Did you start playing it yet?
I didn't. It's been such a crazy week. This last week has been completely swamped and packed. But I am looking forward to playing Outer Wilds.
Swamped.
Hopefully November when things cool.
Yay!
It's very good.
Should be a neat
It's the best.
storytelling
You know?
experience, especially since you do like narrative stuff with D&D and whatnot. It's interesting from that perspective.
Oh yeah, it actually is very similar to D&D structure of just like open world storytelling.
Yeah, like non-linear shenanigery.
Yeah, like environmental storytelling and like no spoilers. One level, you can have layers of understanding of like story, and it's amazing as far as like narrative goes. The way that it integrates it with the gameplay itself. It's awesome.
Oh, also,
Sounds.
did you buy it with the DLC? Or
I
don't know if you bought it
usually
yet.
don't DLC.
It's
I
the
did
same
buy it.
price, I think. The DLC combined versus buying separately is the same price, so I don't think it matters.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I was going to suggest don't get the DLC immediately. Because as far as
usually
I
don't,
know,
yeah.
the DLC might actually
Oh, modify.
confuse things if you like go there immediately. Because I think the DLC content is available right from the get-go if you own it.
I see.
So if it's possible to
should be
not
pretty
own
obvious,
the
I
DLC
do
for that.
not. The DLC is Echoes of the Eye.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not have Echoes of the Eye.
Perfect. Yeah. So then if you want to do the DLC, you should do that afterwards.
Great.
Which is also very good. I don't get it how they did it, but somehow the DLC is like having me more excited than the base game, which was already my favorite game. So now my favorite game is the DLC, which is weird, but
Wow.
yeah, it's neat.
I
It's like
love
a
it, I love
sequel.
Yeah, it basically is just a full sequel.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just call it a sequel. But anyway,
Well, 2 days after you all told me about this, and I got another gold. My
Yeah.
other friends from another party, another D&D party, were talking about Outer Wilds and how great it was. So,
Yes.
with multiple recommendations in the same week, I am looking forward to it.
although I would add, it might not be your type of game. So like, it's a very special type of game, and depending on like how patient you are and how into you are into like narrative storytelling, it might be extremely boring.
I think you're gonna like it though.
But
No, I think so too. I think
Pretty
I
sure.
think you'll
we
like
gave the pitch, and Neil was like, "This sounds like my." I'm
Sounds like my jam, yeah.
confident. I'm confident. Great.
Oh, you can disable
it.
DLC in the Steam options? That's useful. Okay.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
neat.
we will see everybody next week on Sunday.
Yes,
Oh yeah, we're completely skipping over the time zone fuckiness.
we are. we made that work.
That's a pro move. That's like hard to pull off, but somehow we accidentally did it.
On accident. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't pull it off, only on accident.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we're
Love
gonna
it.
be on Sundays from
Ever.
here on, right?
Yeah.
You're on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
Great.
Well, thank you all so much for joining. Anything y'all want to plug, or before we leave, or head off, or no? Okay.
Make safe choices if you're doing Halloween things.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.